Hello everyone and welcome back to the Kuso Grande Invitational. We're here with week 3 and today we're going to have the last two winners bracket round 1 matches and our first loser bracket match from the round 1 of the loser bracket. We're going to be featuring Kate versus Dana, Andy versus Meekin, and Slow Beef versus Church. But as always, we've got Prosenchi here alongside us to break down today's matches. What can you tell us about what we've got today?
Hey, well, you know, we've got 3 different matches. The first one with Cadis going up against Dana Chrysalis. Cadis is one of the people who's been helping with Kuso Grande quite a bit. He's our official referee. Unfortunately, he won't be able to referee his own match, so we get to see how he does against Dana. Now, Dana has also been helping out quite a bit with Kuso Grande, but he's here representing the GDQ staff as well. So I'm glad that we have these two going up against each other. They're pretty good friends, but soon they will be enemies. You know what? We haven't talked about the game, have we?
No, but we also have a Faizu here to help us. So, Faizu, why don't you say hello?
Hello. I'm here to say random words like hello and generally try and commentate on what's going on here. Especially because we're lacking our usual referee, although I'm sure Kate will go back and look over the match and decide who won.
Yeah, for sure. Now, the game that is coming up today is actually one that harkens back to my soul. It's one that I raced Author Blues in, actually. And I think that we were trying to just do a blind race and beat the game, and neither of us made it halfway through. The game is Titus the Fox for DOS, and I really hate it.
I have a question, Dana. I have a question, Prosentia. Sorry.
Sure.
Does that count as a race?
Yeah, it counts, but I don't know. It's just so bad.
I was told that your race against Author Blues was on the boundary of being called a race because the game was that bad. So,
well, we decided to use passwords to go to, stage 15, stage 16, and see what they were. And I swear, they're literally impossible. This game, the difficulty is just through the roof. Not only that, but you'll see the mechanics. And everybody get excited for some of the best scrolling in video game history.
So, I need a quick prediction from you two. Kate, Dana, they're both pretty big names in Kuso from what I know. Who do you think's going to win?
What do you think, Faizu?
Really? You're putting me on the spot with this one. Considering that I GM'd them in their group last year, I handed out all the games, and I'm glad that you're giving them a DOS game. It's a nice throwback. I really don't know. I'd have to flip a coin, I think. I think they're both pretty evenly.
Yeah, you know what? I think, yeah, Cadis and Dana are both pretty even. I think that just due to the jank nature, I'd give Dana a small preference. But wait, Tina Hacks in chat is saying that it's too new for Dana.
It's newer than Commodore 64, okay. That's a good line.
Yeah, I love it.
So, what do you say?
Well, it is just about time to start. And here we go. I'm going to get this rolling. Wish them the best of luck, everybody. And if you can, you know, we do emote spams these days, Railcoon, and I love to see lots of emotes. So if you have foxes or trash cans, go ahead and spam them. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. As soon as we should be seeing the players move in just a little bit. Oh boy.
And for better or worse, it begins.
I don't know if it's for better or for worse. It's for something. So, welcome to Titus the Fox. This game is ugly as sin. And the first thing that you're probably going to notice is that the scrolling is an issue.
Oh,
Oh god.
That's
Are they
interesting
manually scrolling it, or is that
No.
every time you hit the edge of a screen?
It's when you hit the edge of the screen, or if you wait long enough.
If you wait long enough?
Yes.
You mean if you wait, it kind of recenters onto Titus?
Yeah, it will recenter onto Titus after a brief moment.
Wow, that's awful.
Yeah,
it's
that's impressive.
Yeah, I never have really played a game that scrolled quite like this. Not only that, but it only scrolls vertically or horizontally, even if you're jumping and falling quite a bit. So it's extremely easy to run into enemies. It's just super simple to take damage. Also, you don't currently see a health bar. It only pops up when you take damage.
I thought that was like one of them adjusting their volume at first.
No,
It doesn't
no.
look like a health bar. It looks like, you know, the old school TV. When you
Yeah.
adjust the volume and you get that bar. It's exactly that bar.
That is what it looks like.
Now, one good thing about that, though, is that you can go down to 0 health and you'll still live. So, at this point, if you saw, Dana just grabbed a padlock. That padlock specifically is a checkpoint for this stage. So if they die, they just go back there. Not a huge loss. But I believe there are only going to be so many extra lives. After that, they will have to enter in a password to get back into the level. Oh, and we have chat bragging that they've played worse. I don't know. The first level in this is very simple. It's go as far right as possible, and then you can finish the stage. That's it.
But if there's one thing I've learned, it's that there is always worse out there. But
Yeah.
that isn't much of a consolation when you're playing something that is quite as bad as Titus the Fox.
Yeah, and Titus the Fox is not exactly the most stellar video games in the world. Kate is finishing the first stage, moving on to level 2, looking for clues. This level is fairly similar as well. Honestly, the most important thing to learn in this level is how to get past enemies without taking damage, because you can get comboed. And I know we're going to see some big combos in just a little bit.
So are there any iframes at all, or are you just merciless? Like, are they merciless?
Are there any iframes at all? No, a little bit. I'd say probably about half a second to a second of iframes, but it's not a whole lot. Oh, by the way, we should mention that the audio for this game is this is just how it sounds. You're gonna have to deal with it.
Yeah,
it may
this
sound
isn't-
like it's stuck on a loop, but yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Pfizer.
I was just gonna say, yeah, it's not broken. It's not constantly restarting or anything. This is how it's meant to sound.
Yeah, I guess. By the way, yeah, somebody brought up that this game actually came out on Amiga as well, and I took a look, and the Amiga version actually is a lot better than the DOS version.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
If you told me that the Amiga version was worse, I would actually have been kind of surprised, because Amiga tended to have better scrolling.
Okay.
This was kind of still the era of DOS games where we were all still trying to figure out how platform games worked, honestly.
Yeah. Now, one thing that I should note is that Cadus stayed on the bottom carrying a trash can for a while, and unfortunately because of that, ended up missing a password. The passwords are going to be key to making any kind of progress at all in this game.
Oof.
So it's back to stage 1.
So, well, they've both had a game over at this point then. So how rude does this game actually get?
How about precision platforming in a game with slippery controls?
Yeah, you should probably talk about the controls a bit, because that's something that's not coming across hugely visually, so why don't you tell me how the control, or don't?
Yeah, going left and right, honestly, it's fairly okay. You've got up for jump because only the best games have up for jump. Up is also climb. And then you use either space or enter to pick up items and throw items. Those are all the controls there. Honestly, I'd say the worst thing about the game is the camera.
Yeah, that scrolling is ridiculous, honestly.
Yes.
Just looking at Catus' screen there, where he was kind of on the edge of the building, there were 2 enemies just off screen, and it still wasn't scrolling over so that he could...
Oh, the beauty.
There seems to be a huge amount of knockback when enemies hit you as well, like half a screen width.
Yeah, the knockback here is atrocious. The thing is, the knockback, you're going to see people get comboed from time to time due to it. Because it knocks you back, and then other enemies can just knock you straight forward back into that enemy. Bounce back and forth until death. It's great.
I wonder if the levels were intentionally designed later on to have a few of those.
I mean, this part at least seems designed that the dog will knock you up on level with this guy throwing bottles at you.
Yeah.
I do recall a level where essentially you have about 10 flies in one small area, and you have a bouncy ball, and you have to try to kill the flies with that bouncing ball. But if it gets stuck in them, you're dead. There's no hope.
That sounds terrible. I have to play this.
So Dana is going back and getting some items. One good thing about this game is that once you kill enemies, they stay dead until you have to start the stage over. Luckily, Dana has a little bit of a beer bottle, killed the dude on the street. He's just trying to live his life and throw bottles, and Dana went and killed him. That's not very nice.
Dana, well, you live by the
Wow.
bottle, you die by the bottle.
It's true.
So, what about area design, bro? I mean, we're kind of seeing these first few stages are pseudo city streets.
Yes.
Looking kind of like it's intended to be an English town. But what about later? I mean, the game is called To Marrakesh and Back, so...
Yeah, so essentially you're going... Oh, let me pull up the story. This is really important. You all have to know the story of Titus the Fox.
Yeah, we can't proceed without knowing the story.
Give us story time, Brossentia.
Okay, story time.
Hang on, let me get my pillow.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Everybody
okay.
just...
Okay, I'm ready. I'm
Come
comfortable.
on up, let me tell you the story. So, hi guys, my name is Titus. My fiancée, Foxy, was sent to the Sahara Desert for Fox and Locks magazine. This reputable publication had sent her on an assignment to investigate that very rare species, the desert fox. However, during a nocturnal photo session, she was suddenly attacked and kidnapped by bandits. She is now an unwilling concubine in the harem of the Knights of Shah Hassan. Although this... she's an unwilling concubine. That's the story. This is for children, okay? Although this may sound dangerous and full of dungeons and daggers, I don't have a choice. I must set upon my journey and rescue my imprisoned vixen. So there you go.
By throwing bottles at people on the streets of what I'm assuming is in English.
Yeah.
So okay, there's a lot to unpack from that story. I mean, if we just gloss over the really obvious bit, did her parents really hate her? Because she's called Foxy and she's a fox.
I know, right? You can't name a fox Foxy. That's so dumb. It's like if I would name you People. Are you People?
It's like,
yeah.
In fairness, with me, that's kind of a dangerous assumption. But yeah, it's like you calling your child human.
Aw. You know, I think that if you were the right kind of person, you'd pull that off. Hey, my name is Human.
So, Brossentia,
yeah.
I heard you mentioning passwords earlier, and there's a special thing in this game about passwords. Why don't you explain the restriction on passwords to the viewers in
So
case
this
this comes up?
I do want to say that Dana made it to the next level, so that's good to see progress on his side. Passwords are a little bit special because specifically what I told them was that they can use any of the passwords that actually work correctly. They are not allowed to use the ones that accidentally take them farther into the game. So, no, the thing is, like,
But
because,
accidentally take them.
as far as I've been able to see, when a password is generated in this game, it is computer specific. So a password that I get for my game is going to be different from yours. However, because we're playing on DOSBox, all of the passwords are the same, and there's some little glitch in there where one or two passwords are going to end up essentially being duplicated on multiple levels. And when you have the same password for multiple levels, you end up going to the latest one, as far as I can tell.
So if they get a password, that may or may not count as them having a checkpoint, because that password might warp them to level 15.
Yes,
so they
they
can't
sh-
use it.
Exactly. So they should write the password down. They should write it down, but it might not be useful. And I haven't been able to find the correct password because guess what? I'd have to enter... I don't know. It would take too long.
Or you just have to play the game a lot.
I don't want to play this anymore. I've played it for hours. Hours! Faizu, have you ever played this at all?
I've got a vague recollection of playing this like 15 or 20 years ago, but I've blanked most of it out. And I want to say I love the bit that Dana is currently at. That's the amount of knockback going on there is stupendous.
Oh, and Cadis is getting some of the combos right there as well.
Yeah, it's happening to Katus kind of just off screen as well.
I honestly think that the combos and the knockback elevate this from what would have been an otherwise mediocre game to something that's truly horrifying.
So, why don't you tell us a little bit about the other games that this company has made?
Oh no. No, you mean Superman 64? Because yes, they made Superman 64.
They kind of have a reputation for making games that aren't exactly good, shall we?
Wait, are we counting Superman 64 as a game now?
Sure.
It's a digital product of sorts.
Yeah, they also made a RoboCop game.
The RoboCop game is mostly mediocre rather than bad, in fairness.
Yeah, comparatively, compared to their other games, I'd say you're probably right there. Cal the Kangaroo, they made a 2000 Blues Brothers game. Carmageddon 2, I guess they did one of the ports for that. Wait!
Well, they made the earlier Blues Brothers game as well, if I remember rightly, one of the first side-scrolling platforms.
I think you're probably right, yeah. They made the Artie Lightfoot game. Let's see. I'm just going through. Yeah, Blues Brothers back for the NES. That's one of my favorite games, honestly. That is bad, but it's so bad it's amazing.
Blues Brothers is kind of similar to this.
Yeah, the knockback and the slippery nature.
Yep. They kind of have the same platform mechanics, but this game seems to have significantly worse level design. I like that Kate is actually now using the knockback to his advantage. He just got hit by a guy swinging a hammer, and it sent him flying forwards instead, because he kind of jumped over it and landed on the far side.
Yeah. There are ways to abuse some of the damage here so that you can actually pass enemies and then make progress instead of just getting sent back and back and back.
I think Catus may have worked out about... Oh, there's so many dogs on the screen. I was going to say, I think Catus may have worked out that if you hold still, the camera kind of moves forward, but I don't know if that was deliberate or accidental.
I don't know. But it's annoying because it takes about a second or two, so it's just about at the point where you're like, okay, I'm relaxed again, and then suddenly camera scrolls.
Yep.
Now, this was developed by Titus, so this is their mascot game. This is officially, they're like, this is what we want people to remember us by. This game specifically, and this fox.
Yeah. The company is called Titus. Titus the Fox is the company mascot who shows up in the splash screens for all of their games, and they figured that this was the best way to showcase.
Yep. I'm looking. The guy who did the music did some for other games. This was the last soundtrack he worked on, though.
I kind of wonder whether that's a good thing or a bad thing for him. I mean, I wonder whether I wonder whether he kind of went into this wanting to do the sound, or whether they basically said, "We need someone to do sound. You can do it."
I don't know. I'm not 100% sure.
Clearly, we need to find this guy and dig deep into the history of Titus the Fox.
I'm digging a little bit. The designer for this game actually worked on games as late as Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Can I? Okay. No, I was going to say that section that Catus was trying to go through looked hideous, and now Catus has gone into the sewer to another hideous-looking section.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, I don't know how this is going to be helpful. It seems to be going backwards.
Yeah. Oh, that's scrolling.
It's not exactly okay.
Oh, that's no.
I'm sorry, everybody.
Oh god, why? Why have you done this to us, Brossentia?
Like, if you thought NES Karnov had bad scrolling, we've got this. Okay, Catus, unfortunately, is dead.
Into the spikes. Catus has opted to go back down there again, so it's okay, we'll get more of that wonderful scrolling.
It's a good place.
I mean, the alternative, it looks like, is to go upwards and go around that way. But with the guy lobbing bottles from the top of what looked like a garbage pile on my screen, wow. Wow, that's so rude.
The blind jump!
A blind drop,
and that is a game over.
Spikes. A blind drop into spikes. That's incredible.
Okay,
With no way to scroll the camera down, right? Like, you can't just hold down and it moves?
Doesn't look
no,
like
it won't.
No.
Why would it cooperate? That's dumb.
That's something you see in good games.
Yeah.
So, how far are you actually expecting them to get into this, bro?
Probably like level 4.
Really?
Maybe level 5. If they get past level 5, I'm gonna be surprised.
So you think they've made almost half of the progress that we can expect?
Yeah, I'd say that. Because the difficulty...
We are what, 18 minutes in, 19 minutes in. So
yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. They're on.
Yeah, they're really they're doing okay progress-wise, honestly. This is about how I expected this game would go. The levels just get worse and worse, so because we've seen 20 minutes so far, I'd say about double this amount of progress is about right.
Were you tempted to make them start playing this from, like, making them start on level 6 or something like that, by giving them...
Yeah, I was tempted. There's one level that is incredibly rude, because it looks like there's no way to go, and then you just have to make a blind jump. Invisible blocks appear and prevent you from falling into lava. But then they don't go the whole way. Why would they go the whole way? You know?
There's a drop in the blind platform.
Of course there's a drop in the blind platforms. Why wouldn't there be?
So you just fall right in the lava?
Yep.
And then you gotta figure out at what point on the invisible platform you have to jump to get over it.
Yeah, essentially.
That's horrible.
It's a good game.
So, okay, we've got slippery controls, ridiculous knockback, and also blind jumps, invisible blocks. Yeah, this seems to have really good level design.
It's got something. Like,
These levels were definitely designed.
Yeah, they were designed. There are definitely worse games in this world, but this is very rough.
Well, like I said, there are always worse games.
Mhm.
There is no one worst game. There is always something.
The thing is, when choosing a game for Cusa Grande, I usually go for something that is going to be memorable more than necessarily bad. And this has bad elements, but at the same time, it's got some interesting ideas, like the scrolling. Isn't that an idea?
I don't know if I'd say that's an interesting idea. I'd argue that's possibly pain.
Okay.
But I guess pain could be an interesting.
Pain. You know, I like the knockback in this game, even though
Wait.
it's terribly executed.
What just killed Dana?
Oh no. What was it?
Is there a timer?
I think there might be an invisible timer.
Because he
Oh
was
my
just
gosh.
moving around, exploring the level, and then he just died.
That
There's
sounds
nothing
about...
on screen with him.
Okay, let me check in the manual and see what it says. Because I'm reasonably sure there's an invisible timer in this.
Oh no!
Just to make things much better. Because that's the one thing this game with terrible controls, hideous knockback, invisible blocks, blind jumps, that's what it was missing, was a timer that you can't see. On the plus side, the one kindness this game does seem to have is the amount of health it gives you, because you can take a lot of hits before you...
Yeah, you can definitely take a lot of hits.
Seems
Bro,
inconsistent on how much damage you take, though. Sometimes
Yeah.
the bottles are doing 1, sometimes they do 2.
It kind of does. It also looks like if you throw something off the screen, then it kind of vanishes. So if you try to throw it at an enemy off screen, then that item is just gone. I hadn't actually noticed that until I just saw it with Katus just then.
So, as it turns out, there are some hints in the manual for this game as well. So let me go ahead and give you some hints. Relkun, I'm going to help
Okay,
you
I'm
learn
ready.
this game. Hint number 1, don't lose faith.
It might be too late for that one.
There's a solution to each puzzle. It's just a matter of developing the right approach.
I mean, it says don't lose faith, but I have a feeling that the real motto of this game is abandon hope, all ye who enter. So
I feel like that's about appropriate, yeah. Okay, hint and tip number 2. All traps in difficult passages can be overcome without losing energy. Again, this is a matter of technique.
So damage boosts are not required.
Not required, yeah. You can get through no damage, 100%.
I'm not sure I believe them that you can get through 100% of this game without taking a single bit of damage.
I don't know.
I'm not convinced it is entirely possible.
Yeah,
Although
I'm not completely convinced it's No, they put it in the manual. Of course it's possible.
Oh wow.
Are they
It's
gonna lie?
gospel, then.
Yeah. Okay, hint and tip number 3. It is sometimes more advantageous not to gather all the extra bonuses available. Okay, that's fair. And then
Okay,
number 4...
Bonuses don't help. Got it.
Yes.
Are
Number
the
4,
bonuses things that increase your health, or just points?
they do heal you. Yeah.
I'm assuming it's possibly also kind of a thing that you may have to go considerably out of your way to get some of them, and it's not going to be worth it, or that some of them are going to be horrible traps.
Or, that it's a high risk of death going for a certain bonus. And then number 4, the oil, lamp, and padlock bonuses are hidden from time to time. Now, the padlock, again, is a checkpoint for that specific stage. The oil lamp is a password.
By hidden, do they mean that they may be in an out-of-the-way section of the level, or do they mean that they just made them invisible?
I think literally just out of your normal view.
Ooh.
You know, you'd have to go out of your way.
Okay. That's less horrific than I expected.
Yeah,
Okay, just made it to level 3 again.
nice. Yeah, Dana is struggling a little bit. I really hope that he gets the hang of this level. Honestly, the biggest thing that he was struggling with before is that there was a pile of trash cans that he had to jump over. But in order to do that, you need to take some items there in order to either bounce yourself high enough or if you climb up some of the buildings and make a leap of faith, you can get over it. Right here, that's where Dana needs to go. He's got the checkpoint, though.
Yes, that's where Kate went down into the sewers below.
Yes.
So this was also a section that I saw Kate struggling with quite a bit.
How does the sewers work? Because I saw one of them trying to go into the sewer, and it wasn't letting them down.
I think you just hold down. I'm pretty sure
One of them was
controllers just
crouching
hold
on it
down.
before, and they weren't going down.
Okay, down arrow. Enter secret passages is down after a few seconds.
Oh, so you have to hold it. Okay.
It looks like you have to hold it per the manual, which I did give them the manual, so they should have that piece of information. But honestly, who's going to sit there for 3 seconds while the stupid bulldog is trying to murder you?
Yeah, if a bulldog was trying to murder me, I don't think I'd be sitting still.
Now, for everybody who's just joining, this is Cusa Grande, the Bad Video Game Tournament. At this point, we are about 27 minutes into it, approaching the half-hour mark. Whoever makes the most progress at any given point during the match will take the victory. So at this point, Cadus has made it into the sewers. He's currently on level 3. Dana has made it to level 2, but has not managed to get past it quite yet. Cadus would be considered in the lead.
Oh, is that a magic carpet?
It's budget magic, okay? You got a half off. Wasn't the best magic carpet in the world.
Well, he somehow managed to kill the bottle thrower with it, and that was the main guy causing him problems, so...
Oh, good. Well, Dana's through and gets another checkpoint there. Good, 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 good. You know, this game has probably what I'd call mild puzzle elements. You run into an obstacle and you have to figure out, hey, you know, I've got a box. Maybe I have to use this box to climb up, or maybe I have to use this box to damage someone. Unfortunately, it's really easy to lose the pieces of the puzzle that are needed in order to make progress. So, like Cadus right there, lost the magic carpet. If it was needed later on in the stage, too bad. You just can't do it anymore. I don't think it's actually needed, though.
That seems incredibly rude. Which is pretty much what I've started to expect from this game, based on what I've seen.
Yeah. Hey,
Okay.
it looks like Dana has figured out how to go into the sewer. Good, good, good.
I would
Now-
just like to say that that crawling animation is fantastic.
It's pretty... And Cadus gets a game over. It looks like Dana is jotting down a password. That is completely okay. C357 is the password. Now, I think this might be one of the trick passwords that actually takes him to level 6 or 7 instead. So, after he enters it in, we'll have to see where it goes.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm really hoping to see a password that takes them somewhere that they're not supposed to be, and watching them flounder and start again. That'll be great.
I hope so. Oh. Like,
This game has one of the most minimal user interfaces I've ever seen for any platformer. Like, there is nothing. Even your health bar is only visible when it's being filled up or you're taking damage. You've got no lives counter, no timer, no points.
it's kind of dumb. It's really kind of dumb. I'm not lying. Like,
They just really wanted you to be able to focus on the art, or they couldn't figure out how to get the user interface to work with the scrolling, one or the other.
I mean, if you want to call it art.
In
the
fairness,
sprites aren't that bad.
In fairness, if they were going to put a user interface in this, it would probably have been one of the ones that's kind of... it's not an overlay on the screen, it's actually like it crops off the bottom third of the screen, and that would probably have made the scrolling even worse.
Yeah, I would agree. For those who are asking in chat, there should be a bracket, indeed. Let me go ahead. And Nightbot decides that he doesn't want to give us the bracket. That's okay, we've got it somewhere.
I think it's under Kuso Grande.
Oh!
The commands, yeah, there you go.
Railcoon, you're the best. There we go.
Yeah, Railcoon is the one who really knows what's going on here. Ignore me and Brosensha, we haven't got a clue.
Except the game, I've got no idea what's going on with this game.
I don't think anyone has got any idea what's going on with this game, in fairness. It's just cruelty.
I've got a vague sense of what's going on in this game. Oh, by the way, both of the players do have a password for this stage. That's going to be incredibly helpful.
Yeah, it means that we won't be seeing the first two stages again.
Yeah, but I did notice that when Kate game overed the last time, they entered it wrong, so... I'm curious if Kate wrote it down correctly.
I think that he may have written it down incorrectly, but got it this time.
Okay.
But yeah, that is... Password Boss is sometimes bad enough that it sends you really far behind. With that said, it's starting to get a little bit close, you know? They're both on level 3, I believe.
They are, and they're both reaching similar points.
Yeah.
I think Katus has gotten slightly farther ahead, but I'm not 100% certain.
I believe so as well, yeah.
I also see people in chat asking if this is GDQ, and confirmed GDQ is only Titus the Fox games.
Oh no.
From here on out.
Why would you do this to us, Brosensha? Mercy,
okay.
please.
We can include Superman 64 as well. You know, it's
Well,
made by Titus. It'll count.
Yeah, it's a Titus game. That's fine. We will allow Superman 64 as well.
Oh,
Sorry,
Mike
Mike
Uyama
Uyama
said no.
said
Never
chat.
mind.
He
Scratch
says
that
no.
idea. Oh, I love it.
Oh, you got vetoed, Brosensha.
Well, dang it. It's okay.
This is kind of the point where I'm actually starting to really try to pay attention to progress and figure out who's going to be making it further ahead. I suspect that at this rate, I suspect we will probably see level 4, maybe not level 5, but this does also feel like I don't know. This seems like the sort of time where I may need to pay attention to who's in the lead.
Thank you.
The problem is
somebody will.
Well, I mean, we can just wait for Kate to finish and then he will referee the match for us, but he has done it before. Even in the games back in Kuso Grande 3, in which he was participating, he went back through the VODs of the games that he played. I think it's just a force of habit for him now.
So, yeah, we're saying hi to future Kate. Hope you enjoy us talking about you.
That's why Kate is such a good referee, though.
Yes.
Do you think you should apologize to future Kate, or just let future Kate suffer?
I always should apologize to future Kate. I need to apologize for anybody who has played this. Even if you were a child and bought this, I feel like it's somehow retroactively my fault. Oh, Cadus! It's just taken so many hits! I love it!
These dogs are brutal. Kate seems to have figured out how to get through this section, it's just the dogs are always a problem.
Yeah. The thing is, you're very limited in the amount of ammo, or the amount of projectiles you have, so you need to pay attention. Wow, apparently you can kill dogs with the magic carpet by flying it into them.
That was kind of impressive. That magic carpet looks terrible to control.
Yeah, well, Cadus isn't getting it back anymore because he fell.
So are
it
there a
looks
lot
like-
of... Sorry,
Sorry,
carry
go
on, Railgun. No, you first.
It looks like the magic carpet, when you stand on the left side, it goes right, and if you stand on the right, it goes left. But since the controls are slippery, have fun trying to land on the side of the carpet that you want to land on.
I think it's the direction that you're trying to land on it, and the slippery controls definitely make it a little bit difficult. And this bug is just crying to get Kate. Now, the way that the bug works is that when it gets within a certain distance of you, it'll automatically go either down or up. And if you're below it, it will go down. If you're above it, it will go up. So you can bait it out of the way a little bit, but it's a bit difficult.
That screen with the chimney just looks horrific, honestly.
It's
It just
bad.
looks so brutal to get through.
Yeah, and this Baker. This Baker's just running around trying to kill Titus.
He's got this manic look on his face.
I can't blame him. I don't
Does
know.
look-
Maybe he's gonna make a Titus pie.
Kind of terrifying.
So I wanted to ask, how many items are there like the magic carpet in this game, as in stuff that kind of isn't just a basic thing that you throw or that gives you health back, but something that actually does things a bit different?
Like, I know that there's that. I know that there's the ball, the garbage can. If you the garbage can, if you throw it, it ends up sliding pretty far. But those are the three that I'm thinking of. Yeah, the ball, the magic carpet, and the trash can.
Okay. Because I was just thinking that the magic carpet is kind of, it's an element of creativity in this, and not necessarily bad creativity, like with the scrolling. Although I'm fairly certain that with the scrolling, that was kind of limitations of the system, and, you know, they were trying to figure out a way of making it work. But the magic carpet is actually kind of an interesting idea with how it works. It's not something I've seen elsewhere.
Yeah, I can't recall ever seeing the magic carpet. It's sort of a little bit similar to Aladdin's. I'm trying to think. In Aladdin Super Nintendo, when you have the light carpet, and when you jump off, you can end up using it sort of as a parachute. It's a little bit similar to that, but that's an item that stays with you.
It does kind of seem almost like a parachute now that you mention it, just in the sense that it's kind of a slowed vertical descent.
Oh yeah. Oh hey, Cadus has figured out you can kill enemies while riding on the magic carpet. That's extremely convenient.
I liked that Katus was just kind of skating on the magic carpet along the entirety of the rooftop.
So good.
And Katus has lost the magic carpet again.
But he has a good amount of health moving into this next section. That's going to matter more than having the carpet.
So they are
Also, at
basically
this
neck
point-
and neck right now.
Also, at this point, if you were watching earlier, you can't take the magic carpet through while you're crouching.
Yes.
So it kind of makes you drop the magic carpet here anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, essentially both players are in the same area. Dana just a little bit ahead currently.
Yeah,
Oh!
Katus took a death, so Dana has made it a little bit further.
But both players have gotten to this area before.
Yes. It's the spikes that were just up above. There is one square of spikes which the enemies knocked Katus into, I think.
Oh my gosh. This is actually a really close race. I'm always glad to see both players get to very similar areas. Now, if they do end up getting to exactly the same place, we end up judging it based off of who made it there first. If they didn't make it to exactly the same place, then we'll even judge based off of pixels, whoever made the most progress.
It is worth mentioning that has happened before. We have gone back through VODs and checked based on pixels to see who has won a match.
And we've had somebody win by exactly 1 pixel before.
I say we, I mean we've made Katus do this, and now
Oh
we're
my
making
gosh,
Katus play Titus the Fox.
Wow. I love it.
Tell me I'm wrong.
You're not. You're not wrong at all. by the way, everybody, I know that there are a lot of you who are waiting for the SGDQ game list that is coming out, scheduled for today. We'll let you know if that news comes out here as well. Feel free to go ahead and post the news here if for some reason you suddenly see it pop up as well. We all want to find out.
Oh my god, Kate keeps falling through the carpet because it's bigger than its actual hitbox.
Yeah. I mean, this game has problems.
I think this game is a problem.
But despite how janky it is, I think it's got a type of charm to it. It's terrible to play. It's absolutely terrible, but
I mean, as someone who actually goes and hunts down terrible games to play through them, I do want to give this a shot. Just to see kind of if I have actually played this before, because I get the sense that if I play it, I'll have a better idea as to whether I've experienced it already.
yeah. I mean, most of the people here who participate in this tournament genuinely enjoy bad video games. And even though we admit that they're bad, at the same time, we sort of have fun with the terribleness that you see before you.
Well,
I don't know,
I mean,
like-
the upside is that you are only playing them for an hour most of the time. So
That too, yeah.
You just get to experience them for a limited point. You haven't spent money on them. It's all in good fun. And you get to experience some things that you doubtless wouldn't have otherwise experienced. Whether that's a good thing or not is up for debate.
Yeah, I'm really... I think it's extremely important to remember old video games and discover what otherwise would have been lost if nobody had, had been playing through them recently. So, oh my gosh, Cadus just fell all the way down!
I'd like to point out that Kate found out that the end of that entire section that he was working through was just a dead end with the code and nothing else.
Seriously?
Yep.
Yes.
So
Oh,
now he's back to
no.
the same point, and he has to find a different way of moving forward, which might involve some trickiness with that carpet.
I think the important thing is to stay high here. I think Cadus might actually be a little bit too low to make it through this section. Yeah, everybody essentially is still on World 1. It's also the nightmare of the bakers. Oh no, Cadus!
They have the most terrifying face.
They're so happy to kill you. Again, I think they're making a fox pie. Okay? And I don't know how that would taste, but, maybe it's delicious. Maybe it's something that this community here just really enjoys. Especially in late Marches,
I would assume that fox is quite a gamey meat, but I don't know. I have never eaten fox.
Neither have I. Oh. So the big question is, who is going to beat this first section? The section that we've been seeing over and over again. The one where you descend to get the code, but that ends up being sort of the false way for you to go here.
Case is desperately trying to avoid the beat. Now desperately trying to avoid the baker.
It's always the bakers!
The jumping then with the baker being so close to him. Just seriously within pixels. Oh, and Kate has fallen down. Do you remember which way they need to go for this section?
Not a chance. I feel like where Cadus is going right now, you could probably use the magic carpet to fly up here. Maybe.
Yeah, he needs to get through the bonus blocks somehow, but it seems really hard. I think maybe if he drops the carpet and jumps off of it, yeah, like that, without bonking his head.
Oh,
Yeah,
but
that
unfortunately,
might
they
work.
back. Yeah, I think this
That's-
is gonna work.
That's really, really tricky if that's... Wow, that magic carpet went flying. That's
yeah.
really, really tricky if that's the intended method of doing this.
I would probably kill that baker, just to give myself a little more leeway. There we go, the baker's dead.
Done by accident, but there you go.
Eh.
That does definitely look like a way up there, but I don't know if Titus can jump high enough to get there, unless you have to jump backwards to the left, because it doesn't look like you've got the room to jump to the right.
Another thing that could work there is a spring, if there is a spring available. Oh, Cadus is grabbing a radio. That's not quite high enough?
Is that a radio?
I think it's a radio. I don't know. Boombox?
Yeah, it looks like a boombox.
Wow.
However, whatever resolution I'm looking at, it just kind of looks like an angry box with eyes. Red eyes.
It is kind of an angry box. Yeah, I'll give it that.
So both
I
of them
feel
at this
like-
point are basically at the same place.
Oh! And Cadus manages to get through and get the checkpoint. This is a definite lead at this point. And it's on to essentially the first boss of the game. You're not going to see much here.
Wow.
Oh my god!
Oh!
He just got combo.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was quite a thing. For anyone who's just joining us, I should point out that this is actually how the game is supposed to sound. There is not something wrong with your stream. Do not adjust your set. Everything is fine. This is how the game is meant to sound.
Despite how much you want to adjust your set, suffer with us, okay? Just stay here, enjoy all of the death that you see. I mean, for a mascot game, it's probably a good idea for Titus to die once or twice. He's just not the most lovable mascot out there.
Our mascot is terrible. What's the solution? We could get a new mascot. No, let's just make a game in which we kill him a lot.
Oh.
That is some very out-of-the-box marketing thinking. But then again, this game seems to require some out-of-the-box thinking.
Well,
So Dana has also made it to the boss and has landed a hit.
I can't tell if he's actually doing damage to the boss or not.
I thought I saw the boss
I think
flash
so.
the first time the ball hit him. Yeah, there's definitely a brief flash that happens when the ball hits him. I
you
think that's
have to have the
brief.
ball or the boss on screen though for it to take damage. I think.
Yes.
That, and I'm pretty sure you have to have it hit the boss's head.
It seems to be flashing when the ball hits him, so
Yeah,
I
it might
don't
be
think
big.
so.
Why
Well,
is
I
this
would-
game on Kusa Grande? Hey, I think the boss is dead. Dana is the first one to beat this level.
Impressive.
Holy
I was-
guacamole.
I was just going to say, what would be really funny is if it's one of those bosses that or one of those enemies that respawns every time it goes off screen, so damage doesn't stack and you have to stay on the screen with it the entire time.
Yeah, luckily, no. Luckily,
That
the
is-
game is a little bit more forgiving. Now, Dana is
That is
in
the sort of
lead.
move I would expect.
Yeah. But Cadus actually has made it to the boss before. I think that Cadus has a good chance of getting back into this, especially if Dana cannot get a password.
Yep. We've got just over 10 minutes left, so if Dana dies early in this stage and Kate manages to make it through the boss, there is still a pretty good chance of catching up.
Oh, yeah.
Dana is in the lead, but it's not insurmountable at this point. Especially not if the password in this level is one of the horrific ones they're not allowed to use. There we go. Kate is back to the boss again, I think, just about.
Yeah, that's the checkpoint right before the boss.
Okay,
Yeah.
Dana is trying to figure out what to do. I believe you have to go through that tunnel. but you can't go through with objects. Oh, and he just hit himself with the ball. That's
That stun animation is great.
Now, unfortunately, these worms are really annoying. First off, they look like the worms from Worms Armageddon.
Catus has just jumped over the ball.
Oh no! Out of bounds and Dana dies!
That dead end is rude.
Well,
Dana died due to that, and Catus is just running past the boss. And doesn't seem to realize that he needs to be killed. Or can you actually go down the metro entrance without killing him?
I'm pretty sure you gotta kill the boss.
I'm fairly certain of that as well.
Wow, this game is rude. Okay, it looks like Dana is going to be entering in the password for the level that Catus is on right now because he didn't get a new password. This is opening the chance for Catus to actually make progress and possibly beat this boss.
Okay, well, Catus has worked out that he needs to actually hit the boss. So that's something. The difficulty that Kate seems to have been having... The difficulty Kate seems to have been having is kind of bouncing on the ball.
Yeah, the ball in this case is both kind of a platform as well as a weapon. It's an interesting enough mechanic. Not exactly the most novel, but hey. No! That's okay. That's okay, not a huge deal. This is a blind race. Yes, neither of the players have played this game before. They are getting their first experience with Titus the Fox in this match.
Lucky them.
Now, they both have seen it, actually. I asked them, and they're like, oh yeah, we saw this match when it was in Kusa Grande a long, long time ago, and I'm like, well, guess what? You both pretty much have the same knowledge, then.
Well, that's the thing, and also the foreknowledge that was so long ago that it's not really going to assist them, especially not with the controls and so on anyway.
Yeah, I was thinking,
so it is,
just watching a little bit won't help.
Yeah, it's still pretty fresh to them. And Catus has killed the boss.
The boss is down, and Catus moves on to level 4. Now, this is as far as Dana has made it. Catus has the chance of passing Dana's current best.
Will Kate fall for the same dead end trap, though? Do you think?
Yeah, I would. I mean, I died there.
And if Kate does fall for that, then that does kind of mean that Dana remains in the lead just through virtue of getting there first.
Oh, yeah.
But on the other hand, if Kate manages to figure out that is not the way to go, then hey.
That'll be good. Okay, Kate needs to figure out how to go through this hole. Cannot hold the ball. Gotta get rid of the ball. Okay, he dropped the ball, just...
You know, the music in this game is almost good.
It's almost good.
It's one of those things where there is almost vaguely a tune in there somewhere. They just need to put a bit more effort in.
You know, maybe not repeat the same 4 notes 20 times in a row, randomly in the middle of the song. Maybe that would help.
Okay, let me just tell you what's killing me about this, because Catus is trying to go through the hole, but every time he's tried, he's been holding on to the ball. And the manual says you can't be holding items in order to go through. You have... Well, okay, he put it down, and now he's crawling to the left. No!
Oh, no!
The bonus health is a trap!
The worms are going to Catus.
Oh no! Can he actually get out of this?
I think he's gonna die. Well, both players have made it to the death trap that is... No! And both got game over in the death trap! I'd say that
that's what I was asking, because I thought that was his last life.
This is neck and neck. Both of them have made it to the exact same spot in the game.
This means that Dana is currently in the lead by virtue of having made it that far first.
Yes. Now, we do have 5 minutes left. If Catus can manage to get to the boss, kill it, and make a little bit of progress in stage 4, he could potentially move back into the lead. And we've seen comebacks in this game. There's still enough time for that. It's just, you know, will he be able to stay calm enough but rush at the same time? I think that's going to be the big challenge here.
I mean, neither of them know how far the other player has got. They
True.
aren't watching each other's. They aren't watching the stream or anything. So you can't.
Yes.
That wall right there is not a wall. Dana just walked right through it. You see
Oh
how
my
it looks
gosh,
slightly
it's
different?
not a wall. They could have just walked through it the entire time.
Dana just walked right through it. It's not a wall.
Well, okay. This is so dumb. Of course it's not a wall. Why would they put a wall in there?
Sorry for interrupting, but that's just too good not to point out.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Ugh.
This is definitely going to give Dana an edge in getting back to where they were.
That is a death, but not a huge deal.
Dana is having... I figured that Dana actually had the better strategy with this boss in terms of kind of crouching under the shots, as Kate was always trying to jump over them. But Dana does seem to be having a bit of difficulty.
Okay, luckily it looks like Cadis took down one of the bakers. Unfortunately, the spikes did him in. Oh no! And I think it's back to the beginning of the level before actually getting a checkpoint. It's still not impossible, but it's becoming increasingly unlikely that Cadis will manage to move back into the lead.
Yep.
By the way, if anybody wants to speedrun this, go for it. I would love to see that. And then I will laugh at you a lot.
Is the speedrun just putting in the password for the final level
Oh,
and then quit?
If only.
Sounds like
It sounds like what?
Toki strats, where you can warp to the last world through the demo.
Oh, you can. Oh, what a game. I love that game.
Okay, Dana has made it back to
Nice.
The underground. No, this does not look like any underground station I've ever been in.
Dana's got 2.5 minutes to make more progress here, while Kate still hasn't made it past this boss, so it's looking really good for Dana right now.
Yeah. I honestly had no clue who was going to take the victory for the majority of the match, you know? I think up until the 55-minute mark, it was anyone's game.
Yep, absolutely. This has kind of been neck and neck throughout. And it's one of those things, I feel like with this, both players are pretty evenly matched.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't think there is a clear favourite between the two of them. Now Case is picking up the extra health that's up there and trying to avoid the manic
He doesn't
Baker.
even need to do this, though.
Nope. And
Oh, but he did it!
Dana,
Oh my gosh.
Dana is jumping over the worms, is trying to
see.
figure out how to safely get up there.
There we go.
Or is-
Dana should be able to climb now.
Okay, so Dana has definitely made progress and is now getting comboed by the worm on the stairs.
Yeah, that's about right. The combos in this game are definitely real. Oh, and Kate is taking the death right there to the boss.
There is no time for Katus to catch up now, unfortunately.
No.
There simply isn't enough time to kill the boss and then make it through the underground section in the remaining 40 seconds. But this has, up until this point, been an absolutely neck-and-neck race. And as noted, this is a completely blind race. Neither player has seen this game before.
They've
Actually,
seen
that's
it, but
that's a lie. Yeah, they've both seen this before, but neither has
They've never
played
played
it
it.
or seen it significantly, shall we say?
And the boss is down for Cadis, but it's a little bit too late. Had it been even half a minute earlier, there could have been a chance. We're done. Oh boy. Well, I Faizu. This was incredibly exciting. We had Dana struggling a little bit on some of the levels, especially level 1, but then managed to destroy the boss and make some solid progress in stage 4. Cadis made it to stage 4. Unfortunately, it was a little bit too late to make a solid amount of progress. Wow.
Yeah, that was a great match. Dana was behind while Faizu was struggling with that part, and
I was struggling with the entire thing, honestly, and I was just looking at it.
Yeah, congratulations to Dana for that slight come from behind win, and we're gonna go to a quick break. We're gonna have Andy versus Meekin coming up next.
Sweet.
All right, everyone, welcome back to Kuso Grande. This is the Kuso Grande Invitational week number 3. We do have a guest with us. We've got a Dana to talk about the last match. Dana, tell us about
Ow. I mean, I'm not really surprised.
I saw on my a little Discord pop up. One of my friends, right after the worm dead end, when I just sat there and stared at the game over, I saw, man, Dana is ticked. I saw that in the corner of my eye. I'm like, oh yes, I am.
Yeah, like because I think you technically were boosted out of bounds with that death, and that was just
that's
beautiful.
what got me. Like,
Yeah, it looks
if
like
I
it.
died just to them hitting me, I would have been fine. I'd been annoyed, but the boost out of bounds to kill me, that was just insulting.
It was so good. Oh, yeah. So I've been asking a lot of people this question. Do you feel like there is any redemption, anything that you feel makes this a somewhat good game, or is it just bad all around?
No. I did make a really bad mistake. I made a really bad mistake of not setting my controller to the D-pad. I was using the analog stick that entire time. That game slid green.
No.
Oh, that's unpleasant.
Oh.
Yeah. There were a couple times when I was trying to make a jump, I actually put down the controller and started using the keyboard to try to make the jump. It didn't help that much.
Oh no. Well, I mean, considering that up is jump, that's even more miserable.
Look, there is nothing wrong with up being jump, and
Up jump was not the problem.
It is for me.
Dana agrees with me that up to jump is fine.
I grew up playing
knockback.
Duke Nukem's with up to jump.
The knockback is insane.
Yeah, the knockback's a problem. I love that there are times that you can just end up flying back and forth across the screen and literally not be touching anything.
Yeah. Cade is mentioning carpet shenanigans. I really want to know what he was doing, because I was using that thing as a weapon for a little while, and it was great.
You can use it as a weapon. He ended up, that one place with the password on stage 3 where you were just having a hard time getting past? He
uses it to float up and jump back up?
Yeah, he jumped up through. Yeah, well, even smarter was that one of the walls wasn't actually a wall, but that's besides the point.
Well, Kate is saying that wall was definitely solid, but
we saw Dana go through it.
In fairness, with this game, that may have been who knows.
The carpet is super hard to actually use, by the way.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that. And we saw Cadis just accidentally sending the carpet flying all over the world. But I enjoyed the shenanigans. It was hilarious.
I was really mad when the carpet landed on top of the enemy, and I was like, well, now I've got to go through that entire down corridor.
Oh, yeah. But
it was the knockback that made me laugh more than anything. Just as a viewer, just watching you getting ping-ponged back and
all
forth
over the place. It was the worst.
Yeah. It's like half the screen's not.
I'm kind of sad that you two didn't get the password on stage 2, because I'm relatively sure that that's the password that ends up taking you to stage 6, so it wouldn't have been useful. We would have made you start at the beginning.
I did look for it. I just don't remember finding it anywhere.
It's out of reach, and honestly, I died too many times trying to get it before, and then was angry that it didn't even continue me on the second stage.
I really hated stage 3.
Yeah,
There's a lot of rude things in that stage. Is that how you're supposed to fight the boss, though, or is there like
Yes.
a better way? Because I was abusing the heck out of the scrolling.
I think that you did it probably the easiest way. Just get him a little bit off the screen so he doesn't shoot nearly as much. Throw the ball and it bounces back and forth until he's dead. Sometimes you can get 2 hits per cycle rather than 1, but honestly, it's not the biggest priority. Cadus did go over the boss and then couldn't leave the stage.
Oh no!
It was,
of course,
it's amazing. I love it.
I mean, it's not strictly immediately clear that it's a boss, and because your weapon is a bouncy ball that you can jump on, you can totally get over him. So it kind of makes sense, but no, you have to kill him, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, because of the setup, I kind of assumed he was a boss immediately. Simply because there was the bowling ball there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a checkpoint right blah 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 right before it. Yeah. That helps.
Checkpoint, weapon, giant enemy. It does kind of tick the boss box.
And the fact he didn't die in one hit.
Yeah.
There were 2 checkpoints there, actually. Like, you pick one up and then you go down the ladder and there's another checkpoint for some reason. But
I really thought hard about picking up the extra life, but then I realized I'd have to go through the entire maze again. I was like, nope. Don't need that health.
So, Dana, do you have any final thoughts on Titus the Fox?
I don't ever want to touch it again, and I'm sorry for giving out a Titus game earlier this week.
Yeah, this is
I'm
revenge.
pretty sure that was my punishment.
Sure, I just like Titus Fox, that's all.
Oh yeah, not being able to go through doors while holding things really annoyed me.
Yeah, that was a little bit bad, tiny bit.
All right, well, we're getting the notification. The next match is getting close to being ready, so we're just gonna kick Dana and Faizu out of here. Bye, guys. Thanks for being on. I'm being a little bit joking. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
We're gonna transition to our next one. So what was that, Faizu?
I'm just saying thank you. It's always a pleasure to be here, and good luck to the runners in the next 2 races.
It's usually a pleasure for me to be here.
He usually chooses games. He doesn't have to play them. All right. Take care.
I don't have to play them.
Bye, Dana. Bye, Faizu.
Right.
Well,
goodbye.
We have our friend Tina Hacks here.
Hello, hello.
Hello, Tina. So you ended up choosing the next game that's coming up. What game do you have in store for us?
So I had a really good game in store, and then we found out that one of the racers had played it. So instead, I'm giving them a Super Nintendo port of an Amiga game called Super Putty.
I believe I've actually played this.
It's a game.
Oh, it certainly is. It's, I think we'll get into the technical aspects of it in just a little bit, because, you know what, I don't think this is the same game I'm thinking of. Oh my gosh. I'm excited for Putty, though. I used to play with Putty all the time as a kid. My favorite thing was to make big bubbles in the Putty and then pop it, because you could pop it extremely loudly.
I believe that. I recall using it for making little imprints of newsprint.
Yep, I did that as well, the comic page usually. It looks like we're going to be good to go here very shortly, though.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm checking with the players to see if they are good to go. You know what? Putty is kind of an orb or sphere of sorts. So, chat, what I want you to do is go ahead and find all of your orbs and spheres and spam them as we do the countdown. What else? Is there anything else that's notable in this?
Lots, but it'll come about naturally, I think.
Sweet. Spam anything that is ball or sphere shaped, and here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Those squares are not sphere-shaped. Wow. Bacon copter. Okay, here we go. This is not at all what I was thinking, Tina.
Yeah, so the good news is that you start off with a tutorial. This game is very much designed to be rented from, you know, your local movie store.
Aha.
So we'll see how well the players figure out how things are going to work here.
Okay. It looks like Meekins is eating some of the different creatures here. Lots of snails.
Mushroom snail type things, yeah.
Okay. Wow, the voice acting is pretty good.
Yeah, this game, they make use of the Super Nintendo's voice channel very well.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear it.
What's that cat that keeps like just bursting through the background and laughing at them?
Oh, you know.
No, I don't, Tina. I don't know.
It's the cat that bursts out and laughs at you.
Very helpful.
Okay. Thank you, Tina. Awesome. Well, it looks like both of the players have gotten through the tutorial. They thwarted the cat of sorts. Did you give them a manual for this game, by the way?
So, I couldn't find a manual. I gave them controls.
Okay. So left and right is move, down is squish, up is used for stretching. B jump, A stretch, Y inflate, X deflate, L and R are both jabs.
They are. You can punch, as Putty is wont to do.
Okay.
You can punch left or right, and so they use the shoulder buttons for that.
Okay,
Fairly
I can
natural
approve.
controls, I think.
Such violence. Well, you know, it's good to be able to take out your anger when you're a big lump of putty. Too bad. Okay, these voice channels. This is the best.
Yeah, it's real good.
Tina, I'm in love with this game already.
So, my favorite review that I've read of this game
Yes?
was a single sentence, and it said, "I had wished that these graphics and sound effects would have stayed on the Amiga."
Oh, that is so rude. Wow, I'm very sad. I do want you to know, Tina, though, that this game was published by US Gold, developed by System 3 Software. I know US Gold quite a bit, but I don't know System 3. It looks like they're still making games, you know. Recently, they've made Rally Racers, Constructor, Building Pack 2, Made in America, whatever that is.
Yeah, I think that the game that they're most notable for is The Last Ninja, which was a really, really good game.
Oh yeah, The Last Ninja is fantastic. And also The Last Ninja 2 and The Last Ninja 3. There were 3 ninjas who claimed to be the last one, you know?
Maybe they all existed concurrently. Who knows?
It's possible. They also made a game called Juice. That sounds delicious. I
Yeah,
could
that
go
sounds
for
like
Juice.
a game I would play with breakfast, maybe.
I'm trying to look to see what kind of juice. I don't think there was any actual. Oh, it was the electric kind of juice, not actually juice.
Oh.
That's
Oh,
dumb.
probably less tasty with breakfast then.
Yeah, slightly less delicious.
Yeah, everybody drink a cup of electricity as you eat your cereal. Please don't
Sometimes
take
it
my
is.
advice. Oh. Well, so what's most notable about this? You're giving this out in a bad game tournament. What is bad per se about this game?
So the controls, I don't know about the Amiga version, but the controls are definitely real weird, and the
Okay.
game does as much as it can to be frustrating. This is a game where, given who's playing, I think that we're going to see a lot of progress. But other than that, this game is just incredibly obtuse. It presents itself sort of as an action game, but also it's sort of a puzzle game. The game over screen is excellent. I can't wait for us to get to see that.
Oh, yay. Too bad.
So is the pliability meter their health?
It
Is that what that
is.
is?
When your putty stops being pliable, it's not really putty anymore after all.
It's true. But I'm trying to think, what makes putty not pliable? I can't think of anything other than, like, if you put it in the
Well,
freezer.
in this game, if you use the inflate button, you can use the inflate button to kill everything on the screen, pretty much. And if you use that enough, you'll lose all of your pliability, and then, you know, things like getting shot with bullets also apparently makes putty lose pliability. Who knew?
I didn't know.
System
had
3
no
did,
idea.
though.
Oh, good. Good. By the way, what I'm seeing is that one of the main programmers for this game actually programmed or coded Ghosts and Goblins, I believe one of the ports for that. And my guess is it was probably one of the Nintendo ports, which didn't honestly end up being the greatest.
No, Super Ghouls and Ghosts was great, but the other ports to the SNES, not so good.
No, not the best. Playable, but not the best. Well, yeah, I was thinking about the players here. We didn't really talk about them. Andy actually comes from a long line of doing fantastic in terrible video games, and good ones as well. He's won multiple mystery tournaments and actually won the last Kusa Grande that we had. He is currently in the main bracket with 170 people as well, and is making some solid progress there. Meekins, on the other hand, has been a pretty strong contender. He's here representing the GDQ staff, but if I'm not mistaken, Meekins actually made it pretty far in the last tournament, actually got into the final bracket after the group stage.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's just Super Hunchback did him in when he raced Proton John during that tournament.
I mean, to be fair, Super Hunchback would do anybody in, irrespective of whether or not they won the match. Just, I can't imagine continuing to have a will to play video games after that.
It's kind of fun, though. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like Super Hunchback. Okay, so I'm just taking a look at the screen right now. We're fighting hot dogs and Vikings with... I don't know what's going on, Tina.
Yeah, they're hot dogs with a fork in their back.
Yeah.
Don't leave out the important part.
They don't appear to be very happy about that fact.
You know, that might be the biggest crime, that somebody was trying to eat the hot dog with a fork. Did he just absorb a baby?
Yeah, that happens.
Wow. Okay, so we've got baby Oh, okay, never mind. Absorbing babies is totally happening in this game, and I'm not sure if you're saving them or just eating them.
We're
Do you
no
say-
saving.
Okay, I think...
I'm gonna say saving. That is my vote.
Okay. I
Let's go
do
with
see
saving.
that you're
That
sort of
feels correct.
saving the Goombas here for some reason. Oh, and it looks like Meekins might actually be starting over. Are there limited lives in this?
There are, and indeed, limited continues.
Oh no. So, my question is, it looks like you have a world select. If they get all the way game over, are they allowed to
I am
select
allowing
the
them to
world?
use World Select for as far in as they've gone.
So, in other words, being a little bit risky is fine as long as they can conserve enough lives to make it to the next world.
Indeed, but the best part of that particular, there's a lot of video game here. So this World Select
Yeah.
is nowhere near as comprehensive as they might hope.
What? What does that mean?
It means that they're going to be able to select up to the first couple of worlds, but after that, there's a lot more game afterwards.
Oh,
So,
no.
It looks like a lot more of a quote-unquote continue system than I think they're anticipating. To give some context, the long play of this game is almost an hour long.
Okay. Yeah, they're not going to beat this. There's no chance.
I don't anticipate it.
Oh no! You turn into an angel when your putty dies. Oh, and Andy has gotten a game over as well.
So I noticed that the babies come when you defeat certain enemies. So I'm curious if the babies are like the animals from Sonic situation. Like you're freeing
Except
the
that they
babies
can't
when you
save,
defeat
they can't
the
save
enemies.
themselves. It's very sad.
Well, I mean, the animals can't save themselves in Sonic. How are the babies going to help themselves here? Okay.
I'm just transfixed by this game, but
I sort of am too.
I don't think we started off with a what Kuso Grande is this game, Bro Sancho.
We
So why don't you give
didn't.
us the lowdown on Kuso Grande and what the players are trying to do to win this match?
I certainly can. Kuso Grande is the bad video game tournament. We have a full tournament going on with about 170 people in the group stage right now. But this invitational is specifically with 16 people who have been notable in both the bad game and the speedrunning community. So it's great to have people here. What happens with this invitational is that we have a bracket, 16 people going up against each other in one-on-one matches. Whoever makes the most progress in an hour during that match takes the victory here. At this point, for example, Andy is currently on a weird light bulb stage that's later than the baby absorption stage. I'm trying to describe this game, okay? With that said, Andy would be considered in the lead at this point. Meekins isn't too far behind, but if Meekins can manage to pass where Andy has gotten to in this stage, then Meekins could potentially make it into the lead.
Yeah, and it's important to note that if, like, at the end they've both gamed over, and Meekin isn't as far as Andy, but got further in one of his previous attempts, that counts as being further in the game.
Yep. Once you make it to stage 5 for victory conditions, we consider that you've already been to stage 5. That is your personal best in that attempt. Oh, ooh. Okay, Andy luckily has taken pretty good advantage of the absorption mechanic in order to avoid getting hit by the lightning while riding the elevator. Interesting. Wait, there's a new Super Putty game on the Switch? Oh no. Tina.
Oh my gosh. Well, apparently this was in fact a very good game. What with them making modern versions of it.
I don't think that's how that works.
What? Why would they continue making bad games, though?
Oh, this is even more hideous than what we're watching right now, too. Oh my gosh. Like, I'm scared. If you go to Google Images and search Super Putty Switch, you're going
I'm looking
to
at that.
have
Oh, wow.
nightmares. It's so ugly. I kind of want to
Oh
play
my
it,
goodness.
Procentia,
What have
yeah.
you done?
Wow.
though. I don't know. Don't blame me, blame
It's a
Tina.
classic platformer.
It's
It's important to
classic.
know that this is a classic platformer brought to the Switch.
For those who are wondering, yes, it is essentially a bad/ugly/weird game. Just so people know, the classification for Kuso is usually that it's bad, but also it often gets stretched into the idea that it's strange, it's bizarre, oftentimes that it's very difficult to understand. So there are many definitions, and we embrace all of them when it comes to this tournament. And I'd say that this game does appear to be fairly fun, but it is weird.
Yeah, and I think that that's one of those things that most of the GMs in Kuso Grande, and indeed in this Invitational, go for is, more than anything, one of my goals and one of a lot of the other GM's goals is to make the player mad at how much fun they're having with a game that is not good.
Yeah. For some reason, I saw Andy create Uncle Ted.
I don't know.
I'm trying to describe what's going on. The blob was jumping around. There was like another evil blob going after him, and then Uncle Ted appeared and I think lectured the blob. If I'm not mistaken.
I completely missed all of that.
Well, you're missing out, Tina, because
Apparently
Uncle
so,
Ted...
yes.
I have no idea which Uncle Ted it was. Just...
I don't know, Rosancha. I'm lost for words on this game.
So am I. Like, it's an easy enough concept to understand while watching it. You're trying to absorb creatures and take them to reception.
Yep.
But trying to actually describe it is a whole nother beast.
Yeah, it's a weird game. It's not a good game, certainly.
Does this get more puzzly as we go on?
No, not really. It gets harder.
Oh boy.
The enemies get ruder.
How do you go from making The Last Ninja to this?
Do you not see a clear path?
I haven't seen a single ninja in this game.
Well, no, The Last Ninja is already done. It was the last one, Brosinja.
Oh, okay. Thank you for letting me know. I see chat is actually asking for a little bit of lore, so I'll give it to you. Putty lore is very important when it comes to video games, after all. So, Putty is a platform game where the lead character is a blob of putty. He has been expelled from Putty Moon by Dazzle Days the wizard and his assistant Dweezil the cat. Your job is to lead the character around the platform levels, making use of his special abilities to rescue and destroy. Let me see if there's even more lore somewhere, because that's a fairly vague description of what's happening here.
What is it that we're rescuing? They seem to be little Koopa robot things. Or Goomba robot things, I should say.
Yeah, I had been... Oh no, Andy just found out that you lose health for inflating.
Oh no!
I've been interpreting them as some sort of weird mushroom robot thing.
Apparently,
I can see Goomba robots as well.
It is saying that they are robots or bots, and you're trying to get them to build a skyscraper back up to the Putty Moon. Okay. So
we're rescuing a labor force?
They're robots, yeah. Yeah, we're just recruiting a bunch of robots to help us build a skyscraper to take us to the moon. Because why not?
You're better for the task, really.
Oh my gosh. I just don't understand this. This is... It's okay, though, you know? I feel like he's got a place in my heart already. Not the brightest place in my heart, but a place nonetheless.
Yeah, that's reasonable, I think.
By the way, I do want you to
will.
know... Oh, yeah?
Oh.
Meekins is making progress, Tina. This is good. It looks like both players are
They're both on the same
level.
world now. So I do want to read a private message that I got from fellow GM Corndan upon me choosing Super Putty. All caps, no, comma, no Super Putty. That's it. That's the whole thing.
What?
It sounds like...
He was real happy that he was not the one playing it.
Oh, good. Good. You know, watching this, honestly, I feel like I would enjoy it, but it's also giving me a few, what is it, Out for Lunch vibes, and I didn't really like that game. My question, though, is, are there any ice levels on this game?
trying to think. I don't... So I haven't beaten the game fully, but I've watched the rest of the game
Okay.
in the long play. I don't recall any ice stages.
Oh, good. This game actually has some sympathy.
Well, the controls are probably best described as a little bit... They're not the tightest controls, so
Okay.
every stage is a little bit chilly at least. Not an
Yeah.
ice stage perhaps, but
It looks like Andy, by the way, is doing a pretty good job getting up to this next stage in this world. Meekins is one stage behind Andy at this point. Yeah, essentially they just have to climb, grab these Goomba robots, and bring them back. Okay, now that the objective is pretty straightforward, it's easy to understand what you're supposed to do here. And in this stage specifically, it's just going up and then going down, up and down and up and down until
yeah,
you have
most of the
gotten
levels
all
have
of
a
them.
fair amount of verticality to them, just by virtue of the fact that they have this stretch mechanic where you can go much higher than you would be able to just by jumping.
Oh yeah.
And so you're expected to learn how to make effective use of that.
You know, there weren't too many games that came out that were strictly vertical. I don't know, can you think of any other Super Nintendo games or Nintendo games? Like, Bubble Bobble, obviously, on Nintendo was sort of a vertical game,
Except that it was all single screens.
but you scrolled
Ice
vertically.
Climbers.
Ice Climbers?
Well,
Okay.
sure, in between levels, yeah.
Oh, and Kid Icarus.
That's true. Kid Icarus
don't-
had some purely vertical sections.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's all purely vertical. I haven't really played it.
No, there's some dungeons which were more labyrinthine, and
Okay.
there's at least one stage on the Game Boy version which was purely horizontal.
Gotcha. Yeah, it seems like most of the games that had vertical sections also had horizontal, whereas this game is just exclusively you're going up and down. Except Out for Lunch. That's the stupid one that has the vertical. Like, the whole game is vertical. And I don't like it. I don't like collecting food. I want to eat it, but no, you just had to go put it in a cage.
Well, yeah, you don't want your food to escape, so you put your delicious lunch in the cage until it's time to eat.
Uh-huh. It looks like Andy had a wizard show up and he just punched the wizard in the face. I'm not sure if that's good or bad.
Reasonable.
Meekin's getting another game over there. Yeah, Andy is definitely pulling in a little bit of a lead here. I'm not too surprised, though. Andy is always extremely great when it comes to blind races. And I think that he's probably the favorite to win almost every tournament that he enters.
Yeah, he's definitely a powerhouse, somebody to be reckoned with when it comes to any sort of blind racing.
Oh, yeah. So the players do generally, I think at this point they have figured out the objectives. It's mostly just figuring out how to avoid taking too much damage in each stage. Because there are a lot of obstacles, and as far as I can tell, there really aren't health pickups.
No. I'm trying to think of anything that gave me health during my playthrough, and I can't. Other than, dying. Dying's real good for that.
There's so many things here that just, I don't think they die. Like,
No,
you can
for example,
punch
the
them.
light bulbs do not die.
Why don't light bulbs die? Light bulbs are fragile.
Well,
Throw putty
Yeah.
at a light bulb, it's gonna break.
these light bulbs just haven't burned out yet. They've switched to LEDs.
Oh, well, okay, good for them. Yeah, I'm seeing that players are taking advantage of the duck mechanic to just try to avoid too much damage. But Andy getting a game over, this opens up the opportunity if Meekins can get through the first section of the weird light bulb land. That'll be... Yeah, he could possibly pass Andy. Could it happen? It could. Is it going to happen? I'm not sure, because he's already down to 1 life left. And frankly, Andy took a little while to beat this first stage of this world. I think it's going to take Meekin a while.
This is where the difficulty really ramps up, and this is also, coincidentally, the latest warp that any of the players are going to get. As they make progress, they're not going to unlock any later starting positions.
Oh,
so,
no.
Be ready to see a lot of this, friends.
Are you serious? This is the latest... Oh my gosh, Tina.
Yep. This is the last world that you are allowed to start at, called Technofear.
It's so good! Well, it looks like Meekin is on to the second stage of this world. I actually... Just looking at it, the sprites are actually pretty good, you know? The light bulbs, they have a little bit of red eye, you know? They've been staying up too late at night. It happens when you're a light bulb.
I was going to say, that's a very light bulb thing to do.
Yeah, just... There's never rest. Never rest for the light bulbs. There is a cat face that you can collect in this, though. Do you know what the cat face does?
I don't. I never went out of my way to pick it up.
Okay. I saw Andy get it once. That's about it. Yes, everybody come and enjoy. Tina Hacks and I are here together enjoying Super Putty, and both Andy and Meekins are on the same stage of this world. Meekin, though, is probably going to take a death fairly soon. I wouldn't be too surprised. There's just so much here. Tina.
There's a lot that goes on, yeah.
How many times can you use your, like, inflate, kill the screen thing before you die, would you say?
4 times, if I recall correctly.
4 times?
Yep. And it costs you health to do it. So, if you're taking damage from enemies, maybe it was better to inflate, but also you have to calculate in, well, I just got hurt a bunch, can I even afford to use my screen kill?
Yeah, we did see one of them died earlier because they used it and they didn't have enough health, and it will let you kill yourself with it.
Oh yeah, without any warning whatsoever.
For those who are asking, by the way, asking an interesting question, once Andy has played every Kuso candidate, what's the next level? And simply put, I don't think we're ever going to run it. There is just so much. Like, the classics, obviously, you know, there are a limited number of those, but there were just so many video games. Like,
also,
honestly...
people are still developing games for older platforms, and some of them are pretty good Kuso candidates.
Oh yeah, and then there's Steam. Like, I'm sorry, but we are in sort of the prime time for new, terrible games. That's what...
Really, anytime that you've got a computer platform that doesn't gate the ability to develop software for it behind having a lot of money. So the Commodore 64 was great. Really, all of the Commodore systems. The Amiga was also great for. It had a lot of really good software on it, and then it also had a lot of really, really just rough around the edges games. Likewise, classic DOS. And then every so often you get something that's just a real gem for, you know, whatever console is current. This was a new game once. It's not like this was made this year to be bad.
The bad thing, though, is that previously with a lot of, I'm trying to think, shovelware with video games, they ended up being terrible. But now, most of the time, they end up being mediocre at best. And because of that, we really just have to look at the games that aren't licensed on anything, that just have no movie qualities at all. Those tend to be probably the strongest Kuso candidates these days.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you are a developer, honestly, the most likely games that are going to show up here are something that excel in a way or really are terrible in a way. The mediocre games are not fun to watch. They're just not enjoyable at all. And so for the true Kuso games, what we like to see is something that is strange, bizarre, or that people are going to suffer through, but that it stays entertaining. It changes up the rules all the time, And it's the right amount of bizarre that, I know who is in the lead, but at the same time, I just don't understand why this game was even made.
And also keep in mind, not only was this game made, but this game was made, and then the decision was made to port this game to the Super Nintendo.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, this game was licensed, right?
Oh yeah, this is not an unlicensed game.
I just love it. There are so many games that are just strange or bad that got the seal of quality. But generally, the seal of quality means, hey, guess what? It is beatable.
Yeah,
and
it does not crash when left on for 48 hours straight.
Does not crash and isn't another Atari pinball game. Oh my gosh. Tina, I've looked through Atari, the Atari history, and seriously, about 1 out of 2 games, about half of the games that ever came out for Atari are based off of the same pinball platform.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah.
Working my way through the MSX library, I have found that we could have an entire genre, an entire tournament just based on Pac-Man clones.
Yeah, but it was even, they're all the same engine. They're all almost exactly the same. It's just a little bit of a different pinball layout. And the thing is, I played some of those as a kid.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, pinball games were real popular.
They were not good.
I didn't say good,
can't
I
get
said
over
popular.
this Uncle Ted power-up that makes everybody dance.
It's so
love
good.
Uncle Ted.
I love that he's now called Uncle Ted.
That's what he has in front of him. He has a desk that is labeled Uncle Ted, and then everybody dances.
I think that my resolution is just a little bit worse because I can't read the desk. And it's been some time since I've played this game.
By the way, I do want you to know Meekins is doing a pretty good job of actually getting through a good part of this level without taking unnecessary deaths. I mean, Sliver of Health here. It's still the first stage of this level, or of this world, but not a huge problem if he can manage to get this last Goomba robot into the
Oh my gosh.
There we go. Sliver of health left.
Good run.
Yeah. Andy, by the way, is also having a fantastic run. He's definitely in the lead at this point. I am not completely sure what's going on here, but we've got a Demon Rush picture in the back. I love that. It looks like it was made in MS Paint, the anime person.
Yeah, it's definitely art.
Yeah. They just really enjoyed their son's second grade art. They're like, we're gonna do better than put it on the fridge. We're gonna put it in a video game. So it's like, oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Is that your parent impression?
That's what
No,
parents
that's
sound
the son.
like. Yes.
That's
Oh
the
no,
son.
that's the son. Okay.
Oh, the
Yeah.
son? Okay.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I can fire in my video game! So excited! So
Now
everybody
that I'm
knows,
looking at it, this face is like 70% eyeball.
it's
Yeah,
very
it's a lot
odd.
of eyeball.
Yeah. It very well could be the character who cusses all the time from Demon Rush. I wouldn't be too surprised. Oh! Oh, well, it looks like Andy possibly has saved all of the characters here. Good. All of the weird Goombas, and now it's level 4 of this area.
Yep.
How many levels are in each area?
I believe it's 4 or 5 per area.
Okay.
The problem is that early on they go super quick, so you don't really have a chance to count. And then later on, you get stonewalled on just one level for way too long, so you don't have a chance to count.
How many continues do you have, though, Tina?
How many what's?
Continues.
What are those?
Oh, no. No, no. Okay, I think I remember you telling me that before, but now it matters.
Yeah, it was interesting because you mentioned that before. It's like I don't see where the difficulty is yet, and well, yeah, we found the difficulty.
Oh, yeah.
But they can start on Technofear, it's fine.
Did Andy just fall through the floor?
I think he did.
Yep.
Why? Tina, what even happened there?
Well, sometimes floors don't work.
What a fantastic answer.
Too bad. Oh, this is not okay. And what does the wizard head do? The flying wizard head. Why does it show up and just fly around the screen like
It hurts you.
Space
is what it
invaders?
does.
Oh, okay. I mean, you are in space, and I guess he's invading.
Really, if you're going to be building a tower to the moon, you are the space invader in this game.
Oh. No, because you originally lived on the moon and the cat kicked you out.
Yeah, but too
Cat was
bad
like-
you're not there anymore. Now you have to invade.
Cat was like, heckin' putty. Get out of here. I just can't deal with you. Cadus is saying that he checked the VOD and there's a 1 tile wide hole. And that is what Andy fell through.
Good.
Oh, that's
It
that's
didn't look
good.
like a hole, so...
No, it looks like a
Nope.
tile.
This is dumb. Oh, too bad.
I love the
because
too
that
bad.
is-
It's so good.
Yeah. I don't know what to say anymore. This game is just very special. Also, what's up with the like cartoony rings in the background? It looks like Looney Tunes when you start up.
Yeah, I don't have any answer for that one, honestly.
Can you get extra lives in the game? Are there 1-ups?
There are pickups. I don't know how common they are. But there are pickups which are extra lives. I think I picked one up once, maybe more than once, but not enough for them to be common, or me to even be able to tell you what they look like, other than that they are some manner of orb, like every power-up in this game.
I'm so sad. Like, how can a developer think that this is reasonable at all? Give you 3 lives to complete how many levels? Too many.
Lot. Yeah, many levels is the answer.
Okay, there's Putty Moon. I'm looking at game FAQs, by the way, and they only have the first 2 worlds mapped out here.
Yeah, so not even all of the ones that you can go to at the very start. It's weird. It's like nobody
Any-
wanted to play this game. There's
Does
just
anybody
not a
want to
lot
make
of
an FAQ for me? Oh, we get a dance party again. Thank you, Meekin.
Yeah, I've refreshed the screen and now I can see the nameplate.
It's good that you can see Uncle Ted now, because that's I feel like that's very important.
I went to YouTube to search for Super Putty, and when I typed in Super Putty, the first response that it wanted to give me was too bad. And that just made it a little bit mad. Really wanted to get that emotion across. Too bad. Okay.
Oh, that's too bad.
What a game. Okay. So, I'm just taking a look at some of the levels that are coming up. We've got... As soon as I can get this to move on, Oriental Rooms, that is the next set of stages.
Yep.
Okay. And then we get Toy Town. Of course there's a toy theme. Why wouldn't there be? Oh, jeez.
Well, just look at the style of Heart. Really, this game wants you to believe that you're in a toy town at all times.
And then after Toy Town is Twilight Zone. So we've got at least 3 sets of levels. Oh, and it looks like there is a lot of snow. That might... Yeah, that's ice physics, alright. This game has ice physics later on. And then once you beat Ice Physics World, you're done. So after this world, there are 3 sets of worlds. Okay? And you have 3 lives to do it all.
Well, I mean, is that unreasonable?
I think it is, Tina.
But this game has to make money. How are we going to get kids to continue getting quarters from their moms and putting them into their Super Nintendo if the game isn't unreasonably hard? Have you thought of that? I don't think so.
I don't know. This is one of those that you get from Blockbuster, and then you're like, well, that was probably a really bad mistake on my part, you know? I should have gone with something else, one of the classics.
Didn't we learn earlier that this is in fact a platforming classic for the Nintendo?
I mean, technically it's a platforming game.
It sounds like you're suggesting that this game is not an instant classic.
You're completely right, I am suggesting that, yeah. It's got issues. Mostly with the pliability. I'm glad that, like, for health, they went with something like pliability, and then for your abilities, they're just like, we can't think of anything else to do with Putty. You got magic. Pliability and magic, that's all you need as Super Putty.
Seems like you lose magic every time you jump. Which seems strange.
And the magic is essentially what character you're carrying with you. And the magic primarily doesn't really matter all that much beyond you need to get the builder robots as your magic so that you can get to the goal.
So, what? I'm sorry, let me wrap this head around it. You absorb the robots as magic.
Yes.
And then you deposit them magically at the bottom. But
Yes,
then you
one at
can
a time.
absorb other things as magic? Do those give you abilities?
You can.
What if you
I
absorb a
have
light
yet-
bulb?
You're not able to absorb a light bulb, for one.
Okay.
For two, at no point have I, during my playtesting of this game, managed to make any other critter that I've absorbed as magic matter
saw-
at all.
Teeth appear, like,
Yep.
Meekin has teeth. What do the teeth do?
That's a good question, and we should endeavor to find out.
I want to know what
Give
teeth
you a
magic does.
fantastic set of teeth.
Yeah.
apparently.
I mean, dentistry is very important for Sinja.
Too bad. Oh my gosh, I guess it's important. I suppose I'll go ahead and concede that You know, if you're putty and you have teeth, you should probably go see a dentist. Like stat. Because they're probably someone else's teeth. You gotta get rid of them. Dentists might be able to match them up with somebody who's missing a lot of teeth. Oh, so everybody, this is Cuso Grande, the Bad Video Game Tournament. And the more that I'm watching this, it seems like this game has design issues. A lot of design issues. But honestly, whoever makes the most progress in 1 hour manages to take the victory. Andy still feels like he's in the lead due to making it, I think, to level 4 of this act.
Yeah, Andy hasn't made it past this world to Oriental Door Zone, which is too bad because the next world is substantially easier than this one.
Really?
Oh, yes.
Why?
You know those design issues that you were mentioning?
Oh, okay, yeah. I understand now.
Yeah, it seems like this set of levels is just suffering from too much stuff on the screen.
There's so much. There's Uncle Ted. Yeah! Uncle Ted, my favorite!
I mean, it's fair to call Uncle Ted too much, but not in the same way that we might say that there's too much of other things on the screen.
Yeah, I'd agree. Uncle Ted is definitely superior to pretty much everything else here. He's the best. Putty is the poor version of Kirby. It's like if you were playing Kirby and Kirby ate stuff, but then all that he got was like acid reflux. Yeah, that's essentially what this is.
Yeah, but let me present to you a contra-argument. Kirby is not able to punch. Putty, able to punch
He
in two
can
separate
do
directions.
a foot slide into enemies. In addition, if you are falling that like long enough, he will do a headbutt and kill people.
Okay, that's fair.
So he can do more
Which of
attacks
those
than this stupid Putty.
Which of those things are punches?
None of them are, but I like the slide better than the punch team. I don't need Kirby to punch. He can punch in Smash Bros. Wait,
Oh,
there
that's
we
true.
go.
Yeah,
And actually, he has really good punches in Smash Bros. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Andy finishes another level.
Andy's on
Nice.
to the next world.
He's on to Oriental Rooms. And I think an egg just flew out of him.
No, there's some enemies that lay eggs, which as they hatch also explode. You know, because.
What? Okay. Oh, there we go. Andy got an egg. That heals you, the food.
If getting shot and touched by enemies decreases your pliability, why does absorbing food increase it?
Very pliable food.
Eggs are fairly pliant. I don't know. Like, maybe if you made scrambled eggs, you could probably make something out of that. You could... I could see you building a tower out of scrambled eggs. And they're fairly pliable.
Okay, but consider if you were going to make a breakfast tower and you didn't make it out of either pancakes or waffles, you've done it wrong.
Well, those aren't very pliable now, are they?
One would hope. Pliable pancakes
I
don't
don't
sound
want-
appetizing.
Yeah, I don't want pliable pancakes or waffles.
Wow, my pancake can stretch to the moon!
That would actually be very useful in this game specifically.
Yeah, thank you. Oh my gosh. I'm really
Hey,
tired
Bro
of,
Sencha, we got about 10 minutes left on this game.
you know, unfortunately that 10 minutes is also just stretching on.
Stretching.
Nice.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you, Bersucha.
That's what this game is about. Oh boy. Well, I was just checking real quick to see if everything is set for the next match as well. The game is decided, but we won't announce it quite yet.
Ooh, I'm excited to find out what it is.
Yeah, we gotta leave some mystery in the air. I just see personally the idea of adding food to putty makes me think it would become stiffer. You're diluting the amount of putty.
I mean, I suppose.
Yes, that's entirely reasonable. Also, this is an Amiga game. What do you want?
But we're on the Super Nintendo version.
That doesn't make it better.
Yeah. I feel like, honestly, what this game could have done with was just toning down some of the graphics here. You know, take out like 50% of them. You know what? Take out 80% of the graphics. We don't need them. Just tune it down, focus down on good games or good images. The light bulbs, they're okay. Do you really need the pig on the weird bunny balloon? I don't even know what that is. Cut
The
it.
inchworm
it's
that
so
crawls
happy.
up and down with the
But
light bulb on its tail.
Okay, but that at least does something else. Look, the light bulb and the pig, they're the same enemy. It's just that they look a little bit different, but they act
And one of
exactly...
them pops higher. And you
the
have a
pop-
visual cue.
And the giant red blob, it also has essentially the same movement. We've got 3 enemies that do the same thing, Tina. Yeah, one of them might hop a little bit higher. I'm not convinced that the hitbox isn't exactly the same, though.
Yeah, probably is.
What do I have against bouncy pigs? I'm just not a fan of pigs. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay, but look at that bouncy ball. It's so happy. Do you
Well,
not wish that you owned that bouncy ball?
I mean, the bouncy ball is better than the pig.
Package
don't-
Bersucha.
I don't feel like the bouncy ball is quite satisfactory enough for me to actually handle the pig that goes along with it, you know? Just give me the ball, throw the pig in the trash, we're good. Andy, yeah, appears to be on the second the second stage of this world.
Meekin is struggling, and we got about 7 minutes left, so Meekin's gonna have to figure out these last couple worlds if he wants to catch up.
I honestly feel at this point it's going to be extremely difficult. I don't think there's a chance.
It's gonna be real hard. If Meekins doesn't game over, there's a chance. But the moment that we see a game over on Meekin's side, it's pretty much gonna be over.
Yeah, and then we would essentially be watching to see how far Andy gets after that. Meekins just has to conserve the last little bit of health on this world. Now, we did see Meekins before get away with just a sliver on one of these levels. It's possible. Just go a little bit slow. Oh, but the time is starting to get really low for Meekins as well.
Oh yeah, Meekins is gonna actually have to push it real hard.
Oh my gosh.
Meekins only needs to get this last critter back, and then this level's done.
Okay, just don't get hit by the wizard or fall into the pit. Meekins is through! Oh my gosh.
Amazing. Meekins
That
is also on to the next world.
Nice. I love it. Thank you, Tina, for holding on to the hope. We get Oriental Rooms on Meekin's side.
Oh no. Meekin posted in the chat going, "Is that it?" Thinking that maybe that was the end of the game. Only to find yet another world.
It's not even near the end.
I can see what you mean by this level set is a little bit easier in that it just seems to give out the health items a lot more than the previous one. So even though you have to rescue more of the robots, you can kind of take breaks and heal up in between.
Yeah. We've got 5 minutes left at this point. Andy still has a pretty solid lead. What an ugly game.
How much of this is you being upset at the pigs?
I'm just upset about everything. Did Andy just die?
Andy did just fall into a death pit,
He
yes.
jumped to his death. No, Andy.
It's too bad.
Okay. I mean, Meekin is on the next level. This level takes a while. There's just so many robots to save. And I think the biggest problem for him being able to catch up is just his low health. He's going to have to keep stopping and getting health items if he wants to keep going.
At
I
least
wonder
there
if
are
it-
health items, though. That's
I wonder if it might be faster at this point. He has one more life if he were to just die to refill his health, since it keeps the
No.
fact that you rescued 2 robots.
having the one up there. This is his last life. It's like Mario 1.
Oh, okay. So he doesn't have another life. Yeah, so he's just got to take it careful and slow.
Yes. Oh no! Oh, Beacons! You only. Oh, he's got 4
Oh,
more to get.
gosh.
There. How? There's like no chance. There's no chance at all. And there,
And
Beacons
there he
goes.
goes.
Too bad. We're gonna call it right there because guess what? Neither of them can get caught up to where they were, and we will not see them make any progress. What a video game. Ah, too bad. With that said, Andy made it to the 3rd stage in Oriental Rooms. Meekin only made it to the 1st stage in there. That gives Andy the solid victory. Of course, I'm not too surprised at how Andy did. He's always been a strong player. Meekin is fantastic as well, but when you're going up against Andy, you know, even if you're one of the best blind racers, you don't know if you're going to be able to beat him.
Yeah, this was just a great matchup, and this was such a fun race to watch.
Oh, I enjoyed it. Hello, Andy. Hello, Meekin.
Hello. Oh, my sound isn't working. Hang on.
Hi, how's it going?
Hello, Meekin.
Hello, hello.
Hey,
Hi.
so,
My headset's not working.
uh-oh.
Like I see the people talking, but
I'm talking, yeah. Talk. Hey,
Oh.
Meekin, so let's go ahead and talk to you for a little bit. What-
Oh wait, I'm a dummy. I had Discord muted.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, Andy. You come in and you're causing shenanigans. Well,
Oops.
congratulations on the victory. Meekin honestly wasn't that far behind you. So,
Mhm.
what are your thoughts about the game?
It was all right until space.
Yeah, space kind of was really mean.
Aren't you glad that you could start from space, though?
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
sure.
So, do you want me to tell you how much more of the game you had?
Probably
Um,
like 4 more worlds,
if
obviously.
you're asking that question, there's probably vastly more than
There are
Then it
2
is-
worlds after Oriental Rooms, which is the
no.
world that you were on. Yeah, you
Uh,
had
Yeah, so if you don't
more.
count the tutorial, it was halfway.
Yeah,
you
the
have to
last
start
one-
from state you have to start from space and don't get any more extra lives.
That's
Correct.
correct.
Oh
Oh
god.
no.
And the very last set of worlds, by the way, have ice physics.
Oh no. I was not happy when I started introducing pits.
Yeah, the pits are a little bit rude. So, you know, I was watching this, and honestly, it's just really bizarre looking. Did it control as oddly as it did look?
Oh yes.
I mean, kinda. It wasn't awful to control. It was just kind of when you have to figure it out.
yeah, there was a whole bunch of start and stop because most of your momentum was through the air, and then you just kind of slowed to a crawl when you were walking around there. It took me a really long time to figure out the whole stretching mechanic of going horizontally. It was actually really fast.
I didn't really understand the inflate mechanic until later, when I blew myself up.
I
Yeah.
never got that working.
You had to be completely stationary and not against the wall.
Great.
And you can spend a small amount of your health to kill everything on the screen.
Yes.
I mean, it was enough to kill me once.
It will let
Whoa.
you kill yourself without like any warning whatsoever.
Oh, is
Yeah,
that what-
essentially you have 4 uses, but if you take damage, your number of uses go down.
I see. Is that how you got
Kinda.
rid of the light bulb guys? Because
Yep, sure is.
I
okay.
didn't even bother trying to kill them once I realized that they were indestructible.
Yeah.
Yeah, but luckily Uncle Ted was there to help you out.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
glad
sure.
that we had him.
Was that the guy that
Played the music.
was that the Will Wright guy that popped up and froze everything?
Oh yeah. He is I don't know. He was pretty fantastic. Well, Andy, you did take the victory here. Meekin, you took the loss, but you will be going to the losers bracket and duking it out down there. I think that this has been I thought this was a blast. I honestly haven't played the game at all, but a lot of the times we were just sitting here absolutely captivated by what was going on.
I hope you never have to play it.
Yeah. I'm sure
Oh.
the speedrun for this game is actually really cool with
Yeah, probably.
stretching with the platforms
I-
and stuff like that.
I could not find one. There was a TAS, but I couldn't find anybody who'd done it in real time.
Yeah, I
Good
couldn't
enough.
find any RTAs. There's
Get
a long
Arthur
play and
Blues on
then
the
you gotta
case.
pass.
So all of you viewers, free world record.
If you can
better
actually
go
get to
check
the
it out.
end.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be the challenge. You know what? Practice makes perfect. I
Well-
think that once you start
Hmm.
practicing, you can get the hang of it.
The last time I beat Andy in a mystery race was, I think, in 2016. So, I sound like it was still pretty close this time, though. So I guess
It
I'll
was
take
definitely
it.
close, apparently.
Yeah, you were both in the same world. Meekin, you were, I think, 1 or 2 screens behind, something like that. Honestly, I thought that you, right at the end, were having a good push and could possibly have caught up to him.
I
Yeah.
couldn't stop laughing at those enemies, though, in the Oriental stage.
Yeah,
You
right?
have the Buddha-looking guys, and I
Mhm.
guess the Chimera things. Oh, and don't forget the people that shoot rockets.
And the chickens that poop out
Yep.
eggs that hatch into tiny sumo wrestlers.
Tiny
You-
sumo men. yes.
Chickens have eggs normally. Okay, that's
don't-
that's
That's
Took-
the extent of it.
okay.
They don't hatch into sumo wrestlers. I was really disappointed when the first thing I saw in Oriental 3 was a pitfall immediately, and the platform faked me out.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
the
that did
little
happen a
hole
lot.
there. So I have a question, Andy. What are you up to today? What game, or not today, but recently? What games are you playing? What games are you streaming?
I'm streaming. I've been trying to play the East series. I've been catching up on Memories of Celceta, which I finished the other day. I tried to play East 8 and then found out it's a crashy mess on PC, so I'm gonna have to get my PS4 working for that. But I guess instead I'll play Sekiro.
Oh, Sekiro is being a blast. I'm going
I'm
through
gonna give
that,
it.
and
I'm gonna start that on a Monday when I get back from PAX.
Oh, I've died so much.
Hey, I will do.
What about you, Meekin? What are you playing these days?
I've been mostly playing through various randomizers, mostly Super Mario RPG.
Still need
They
to
had
play that.
a
Looks so good.
they had a treasure chest shuffle that came out not too long ago, and it's been pretty chaotic.
Ooh.
It's mostly just mystery stuff, mystery tournament, and Kuso Grande. It's been
For other people who are uninitiated, including moi, what's the treasure chest shuffle?
all the boxes in the game have recently been able to be shuffled around and just have
Okay.
random items in it. Like, oh, this one had a flower in it or a mushroom. Well, now it has the super suit or some other really cool equipment or something worthless like 8 coins.
Look, that's not worthless.
It's
By definition,
No.
it has value.
it does
Yeah.
actually. That is the currency of the Mushroom Kingdom, in fact.
Well, that's really convenient. I'm glad to hear that. So everybody knows, by the way, we do have the GDQ game list coming today for SGDQ. Did either of you submit, Andy, Meekin?
Nah, I did not.
I
What?
did not know.
What? What?
I can't
Oh
get
my
that
God.
far out.
Well, I know Tina was able to submit. So
Yes, indeed. Looking forward to the list coming out.
yeah, we have no idea. I submitted as well. We have no idea if either of us will get any games in, but we're just excited to see what comes out. Oh
Yeah,
my
well,
gosh.
Did you
And it
know
could-
that for
oh.
every GDQ staff member that loses today, the time is actually being pushed back an hour?
Mm.
So sorry, thanks to Andy, guys, you might have to wait a little. No, that's not true, actually.
Look, Dana won.
Please,
Dana
Meekin.
won. Meekin. Okay, so expect later due to Meekin. Wow, absolutely sabotaging this. Okay,
Sorry.
who's the next? Church and Sarge is going to be the next staff member, so we just need to make sure that Church and Sarge wins against Slow Beef.
That's what it sounds like.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we also want Church to suffer more. Like, if he gets knocked out this early, that would be sad.
I love Church and Sarge, okay? I think it was my first AGDQ that I went to. I went to several SGDQs, and then finally I went to AGDQ. And we went to Wendy's, I think, and we ended up getting chicken nuggets. And he's like, yeah, I got some delicious nug sauce. And I'm like, what are you talking about, Church and Sarge? But, you know, we've had this weird inside joke about the sauce at Wendy's, and it's just been fantastic.
That does sound like something you would do, and it does sound
It
delicious,
does.
actually.
All right.
I'm actually pretty hungry.
I'm getting the word that we are almost ready for the next match. So, Meekin and Andy, do you have any final words about Super Putty before we transition away?
Don't play it.
I'm glad it's over.
All right.
That's
Thank you
about what I
very-
expected.
All right,
Thank you very
enjoy the
much.
next game. And GG,
Thank you
Mike.
very much from Andy and Meekin, and of course Tina for bringing us this experience.
I'm happy
But
to
with
bring
that-
experiences.
With that, we are going to go to a quick break, and we'll be back with Slow Beef versus Church and Sarge right after this. All right, everyone, welcome back. We're here with the third week of the Cuso Grande Invitational, and we've had 2 matches so far, and we just want to talk real quick about the Spotlight. The Community Spotlight is a show that's going to be starting up on April the 8th, and it's a new show. If you type !Spotlight in chat, the point of it is that you, the viewers, get to choose what games you would like to see speedrun on our channel. There's also, if you check out that chat command, there's a form where you can submit games that you would like to see. And there's also a link to the current Twitter poll where you can vote on the first match, on the first 2 games that is, which is going to be either the Jedi Knight games, Academy and Outcast, or a Warcraft 3 Reign of Chaos campaign speedrun. So make sure you check those out. It's going to be a fun time starting on April 8th, and it's going to be every Monday after that at 8 p.m. Eastern. But now that we've got that out of the way, Rosentia, we've got a new buddy here with us to help us do this next game.
Indeed, we've got Corn Dan, one of our staff members for Cuso Grande. He's been cooking up something a little bit special for us between Slow Beef and Church and Sarge. Corn Dan, you here? Nope. That's okay. Well, you know what? He's a little bit more corn than Dan at this point, so a little bit, he's got an ear, but he doesn't really have a mouth. He'll be talking in just a little bit. The game that we have for today is a lovely little game that I would like to call... Let me make sure that this is actually true, because I believe it is Bill and Ted.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, yes.
Yeah, which, by the way, there's a new movie coming this year. Not this year, sometime soon. Sometime next couple of years. So luckily we get to celebrate. Yeah, we get to celebrate with the DOS game. Now, this is very different from the NES game. If you haven't played you're not missing out on anything. But the DOS game is a little bit more of an adventure game than necessarily any of the other Bill and Ted games.
It is. It is a adventure light game, as I've kind of termed it.
It is, huh, Cordan?
It is. It's also probably the one closest to the actual movie.
I'd
than
probably
the NES
agree,
game.
yeah. I mean, I own the NES game. I think I actually have 2 copies of it. Don't ask. And, it just... While you're kind of going around to historical figures, none of them are in the right time period. None of them actually get the objects from their time period. You give them some weird futuristic object to help them out. Anyway, it's just weird. But this, we are going to be saving some dudes.
We are, and bringing them back to San Dimas, so we can get an A+ on our history report. So then the Wild Stallions can save the world.
The Wild Stallions, I always forget about the band name, but it's such a good one.
It is. It's also the only music in the whole game.
All right, so it looks like we're ready to get started here. Brossentia, why don't you give us the countdown?
I certainly will. Wish them the best of luck and spam futuristic people or just dudes. If you have any emotes of dudes, spam them. We are doing this 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Oh boy, now this is a Capstone video game, our favorite company here.
It is. For people who don't know old DOS games, Capstone Games is basically the LJN of DOS games.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
So, the point of this game is that you're going to go collect a whole bunch of dudes, and you start off with a Circle K because things are afoot, and then we move on from here.
I mean, it makes sense. You got to go to the Circle K.
Right. So the point of this is to go find all of the things that are scattered throughout time to go give to the dudes, as they call them, to go save or to go get all the 12 people.
Yes, and you actually. This is one of the few games where simultaneously you actually control both people.
You do. And it's only really...
Sure.
Their hands are in their pockets, but it sure looks like it, doesn't it?
They've got linked arms. So, at this point, yes, they'll just have to be going to different areas of the game in order to collect people. Now, my question is, are you judging it based off of how many people are collected or how many people you deposit where you need to go?
So we're gonna go based on how many we overall collect. There's not really gonna be a very big difference between the two, because you can only hold 2 dudes at a time.
Yes.
So, what we got here is Church is kind of run into the first area here. The easiest one. This is the first one we go in the speed run, and that is
go get
Socrates. So to get Socrates, you have to collect all of those coins.
Oh, sorry.
And give them to Socrates. You have to get the answer for Socrates. Who's smarter than Socrates? You need 30 gold coins. Now, the game is awful here in that you can fall off the cliff. and literally you fall off. If any part of you... Right, if any part of your feet, right, is like pixel perfect off the path, you fall off and they yell bogus.
The audio there is so good. Oh my gosh.
I love that there's not much audio except for the occasional cut in of the guitar riff or the bogus.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. This is not the first time we've had this game in Acusa Grande as well.
It is not.
And it was pretty amazing pretty much every time we've seen this show.
Okay, so Slow Beef has run into one of the problems of the game. That occasionally when you get to Billy the Kid, it soft locks. So, and right, I mean, I've speedrun the game, and I've never been able to figure out why that is.
I don't know. Yeah, it's that's just
about-
how it is.
About as much as we can determine is it's path dependent, and that's about all we know.
Okay.
I can't
Well,
get over the bogus. I'm sorry.
The bogus is the best part.
it is. By the way, we did warn the players that they should be saving often. That way, if they do end up soft locking, just like Slow Beef did, they can go ahead and get right back into this. That's correct, right?
Yes. I
Okay.
believe the exact words I used were "this game might soft lock." Where I was promptly called out for it by one of the people who's played it. And my response was, well, if they speed run it, it won't soft lock. But aside from that, it's basically going to soft lock.
Bogus.
Wait, what?
They
It
just
jumped so far to the right. What happened?
Oh my gosh,
You
I
just
love
fall
it.
off the mountain.
As far as I can see, none of the dudes on either side has been collected. So,
So
Like,
yeah, I mean, I think Church is closer on the way to collecting. Right. Socrates is the easiest one to get because all you have to do is make it up this mountain.
okay.
I
What we
appreciate
didn't.
the Bill and Ted pronunciation of Socrates there.
Socrates. Yeah. Slow Beef, by the way, got to Abe Lincoln, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
But
So,
what happened there?
so Abe Lincoln, to get Abe Lincoln, you need a penny, right? That has Abe Lincoln's face on it, right?
Okay.
To get the penny, you need to get the dollar that's on Delphi, right? So right where Church is,
Okay.
and buy a drink at Billy the Kid.
Oh no, so you do have to do Billy the Kid in order to get to.
You do. So so there's basically an order that you kind of want to do everything, right? So you don't have to backtrack. Socrates is the easiest one because it gives you the dollar bill. You can go to Billy the Kid next.
Ah,
This platforming looks brutal.
It is. It's not good.
no, it's not. Considering that your sprite is extremely wide because you got two people. You just sort of gotta deal with that and hopefully, get some of the platforming. There we go. Church and Sarge continuing up the hill, trying not to get another bogus. Gosh, I'm so stressed. Because it's hard to actually see where the platforms are. It's not super accurate according to what you see on the screen. Oh, Church and Sarge falling off.
So Slow Beef just failed. Right? If you call Missy and go, you fail your without all 12 dudes. You fail that, and you get the thing of Bill and Ted at the military academy and cleaning out the back of a fast food joint.
Oh yeah. What? That's so dumb. I didn't even know you could game over in this game.
You can. If completion was how fast can you game over, you can game over literally at the start of the game by going to the mall.
That's so good. So here's my question. Because they're time traveling all over the place, what do they need to, how do they know where to go? How do they know what year they need to call?
So we gave them a list of all of the years to call.
Okay.
Because otherwise you would be trying to make calls forever, and that's just no good. So I provided a list of every valid phone number.
Oh boy.
Oh, the invalid number sound is pretty great.
It also is pretty great, yes.
All of this is just awesome. Both of the players heading to the same area. This can soft lock as well.
So I've only ever seen this soft lock once, but what ends up happening here is every time you get hit by a cannonball, you go back to the start of it. So what you do here is you basically jump over everything and to get to Napoleon.
Nice.
And, here you can get a shovel, which you'll need in the desert.
Hey, it looks like both players have gotten Napoleon.
Oh, he just comes with you. You don't have to do anything.
You don't.
Yep.
But both players are finding out now that as soon as you, end up, where it yells bogus, Napoleon goes back to where he was.
Wow, what a guy.
So no death warps.
There are no death warps in this game.
Okay. Unfortunately, Napoleon is not the biggest fan of dying, so you have to escort him back to the phone booth. And Church and Sarge made it first. Slow Beef's going to be right behind, though. It's going to be fine. So I'd say that even though Slow Beef had a little bit of a struggle at the beginning, he's definitely got a good chance of catching up at this point.
Absolutely. So a lot of this game, where Slow Beef has already traveled to a lot of the locations, will help him because he'll have a little better idea what's on.
Okay, and both have saved, quote unquote. Both have gotten Napoleon. One dude per player. Oh boy.
The point is you have to go drop them off at the mall, right, for storage. And we let them know you can only have 2 dudes at once.
Okay.
So Slow Beef is now to go get Marie Antoinette, so he's at the Bastille. And so you have to actually go in there, and you have to avoid all of the cars. Now, here's the thing. The speed run skips all this because the game's collision detection's not good, and you can literally clip through, like, one of the corners.
Are you serious? Oh, boy.
So instead of trying to figure this whole thing out that takes, like, multiple minutes, you can finish all of this in, like, 10 seconds.
I love it. That's great. Oh, the guards got Slow Beef again.
So basically, this this corner coming up right where Slow Beef is, like right there, you can actually clip through that into the wall and then just like skip the entire maze.
Gotcha. So, if I'm not mistaken, I think that we seen any of the players save at this point?
Yes.
I believe
Church has been saving regularly, and I think Slow Beef has as well.
I would believe so. Both of them very much asked about it.
Okay.
Oh no, that sound on Church's end.
Aren't the
it's
sounds
science.
Great? Yeah, I mean, he's just sciencing.
That's what science sounds like.
Including the little audio glitch at the end every time it bubbles.
Clipping. Yeah, exactly. That's part of science. Science is sometimes messy, you know? It's not just the glorified thing that everybody thinks it is.
Remember when I said that LJN or Capstone is the LJN of PC games, right? Like, this is probably one of the best games they make. And it's on the Kusa Grande Invitational.
Yeah. Capstone is kind of bad.
They by kind of bad, they are incredibly bad. Let's see here. Other games that they have made, LA Law, which is a lawyer adventure game for DOS. That took me 3 hours to figure out what to do. And then it turns out the whole game is just calling people on the phone. It's not very good.
Wait, are you serious?
Pretty much. It's a lawyer simulator, right? So it's not like Phoenix Wright. If it were Phoenix Wright, that would be awesome. No, it's not.
True. By the way, I do have to say that Capstone was the publisher, they weren't the developer.
That's true.
Because Off the Wall Productions was the developer. They did other games like The Taking of Beverly Hills. I have no idea what that is. Dino Wars. That sounds familiar.
So
They helped with that somehow.
So Church made it to Billy the Kid, and it didn't soft lock. So at Billy the Kid, right? You are you cheating us? And you just have to punch people in the face. So now what Church needs to do, he has two dudes. He needs to go back to 1990 and go to the mall.
Okay. And it looks like he's going to 1990. You told him that you deposit them in the mall in the present.
Yes, absolutely. So, yeah, we did that because otherwise you can't really progress if you don't know where to go. That's not really fair to anybody.
For those who are just joining, by the way, this is Kusa Grande, a bad video game tournament with this invitational. We have 16 people going up against each other. Slow Beef and Church and Sarge are in the losers bracket, so whoever loses today will be eliminated. Now, the goal is to make as much progress at any given point in an hour, and specifically for this, progress is based off of how many dudes you collect.
Yes. So right now we have 2 dude deposits.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you, Amazing Toaster, for that. So Slow Beef is in the desert. Slow Beef needs to use the shovel. Right, that's in there.
It's not super obvious that you... Oh, he's going to the shovel. There we go. Fire extinguisher in the desert.
Right.
Of course.
So you find a fire extinguisher in the desert because, of course, there's a fire extinguisher in, like, 1600s desert, right?
Yes. I mean, why not? It's hot. Got to put the desert out.
Right. You know, but so now we need to find you know, the use for the fire hydrant.
Okay. I mean, I know what they're normally for.
Right. Well, that's what it's going to be used for. So
Did you see that?
Oh, what
A
happened?
guard charged through a wall to capture Church.
Oh, are you serious? Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
So Slow Beef just passed up the use of the where he needs to use the key. Right, you need to use the key to open up that violin case in Michelangelo's in the Sistine Chapel. Aside from that, collecting Michelangelo is easy. You just climb to the top and go grab him. You take the elevator down. So
This sound in the Bastille, it's not very good.
no, it's not.
You gotta have those high quality footsteps for such a...
Oh, well, good. I'm glad that they know how to walk. Okay. So, Slow Beef, by the way, does have 2 dudes at this point.
Yes.
That is used to start a fire. Yeah, put it out. And now
So-
it's time to untie her.
Right. So, you know, clearly the bad pun here is Joan of Arc is pretty hot.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, they make the same pun in
In the movie.
the movie. Okay, Slow Beef is currently heading over to Abe Lincoln, finding out what Abe Lincoln needs. You know, it doesn't hurt to find out, but Abe Lincoln isn't saying anything.
Nope.
This maze seems unpleasant.
It
Sometimes
is.
the guards just see you in places where it doesn't look like they should.
Yeah, and somehow the collision detection is just kind of a little bit difficult here.
Yeah, the collision detection's not good, which is why you can just clip through the wall too.
You know,
Yeah.
here's the deal. Even though Slow Beef isn't making some strict progress right now in collecting people, he still is managing to get a lot of different items.
Yeah, which you're going to need anyway.
Yes.
It's actually good where Slowbeef just went to essentially Genghis Khan, right, and picked up the flower seeds, which he needs, and you have to plant them at the mall because there's a flower pot there.
Okay.
So, yeah, at this point in time, he can go back. Now, to get Nero to come with you, you need the fiddle, because Nero fiddled while Rome burned. So there's zero sound from the games. Should they be able to hear it? No, they're outside of some sound effects. There is zero sound in the game.
Like, it mostly just sounds like clicking sound at this point. Oh my gosh. Slowbeef, just take them back to the mall. That's all you need to do right now.
That's all you need to do.
Oh my gosh. By the way, we did tell them, once you have 2 dudes, take them to the mall. Okay, I think Church and Sarge is just having a really difficult time with the Bastille. Time to head somewhere else. Definitely good idea.
Yeah, especially in a game like this, it has adventure elements, like go visiting other places to pick up other pieces is usually good.
Yes. Honestly, you're going to have to visit multiple places multiple times.
Yes.
Okay. Where is Slowbeef going to go now? By the way, did he go to the mall before and get the game over? Corndan?
Sorry, could you repeat?
Oh, did he get the game over in the mall?
Yeah.
That's probably why he's a little bit concerned about going there. Hey, Slowbeef has the matches, I believe. He could have used them to melt the ice. Unfortunately, he didn't.
So to deal with the ice, you actually need to pick up the ice pick in the Circle K.
Wait, you don't use the matches?
No, you give them to the caveman to start the fire, and he gives you a note that you give to Beethoven. Or whoever it is.
Oh my goodness. I have noticed that Church is trying items, like, in places, and just seeing if they work more than Slowbeef is.
Okay.
Like, Church walked up to the ice and tried the shovel, and he got a thing, hey, that doesn't work. That's for digging. Which
Hey,
seems...
Slowbeef got $1. Yeah, I haven't heard Bummer in quite a while, which I'm a little bit sad about, but that's fine.
Bogus. Alright.
Or Bogus. Yeah. I imagine they would say Bummer too, you know?
Would they?
They'd say a lot of things.
Bummer's kind of a different...
I think it was the
No.
same decade. I don't...
I'm not sure. Need to consult a lore expert on that one, I think.
Let me go ahead and look this up, since I had an emphasis in folklore for my undergraduate degree.
And you said this is where you use the key, right? Where Church is?
This is where you use the key, yeah.
We'll see if Church tries to use it. Is it where he's going, or is it the...
It's the violin case. Like, right down... Yeah.
I didn't see him actually try to pick it up yet. I might have been looking away when he tried.
Slowbeef did not either. So, Slowbeef just found out that the hard way, you need to jump across the second area in Delphi. Otherwise, you fall off. And Church looks like they're having difficulty. All they have to do is just go walk over to Michelangelo.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
It looked like they kicked him. I was like, what?
Oh, the game actually is pretty difficult to get through. It's like it's not impossible. Honestly, as a kid, I might have enjoyed it, even though it's really janky.
It is super janky.
But it's not overly like too difficult, honestly.
And once you know what the kind of things are, right? I mean, I hold the record in this game. It's like 9 minutes and 50 seconds, right? So once you know what's going on, it's not so bad. But it kind of has that early adventure game, like weird puzzle sort of thing. I think it's a lot better than most in some. In that, like, things seem to kind of make sense. Like, if you get a fire extinguisher, you should go see Joan of Arc.
By the way, Slow Beef did deposit the dudes.
They both have 2 now, right?
They both have 2 deposited, and it looks like Church and Sarge has managed to also get Joan of Arc, I believe.
I don't think he collected Joan of Arc. I think he just
put out the fire, yeah.
Oh,
put out the fire.
The bottom left girl. Who is that? Bottom row, left side. Who is
I
it?
don't think he's...
Well, it's got the yellow border, and the yellow means collected, just not deposited.
I don't
'cause
know.
he's picked up Napoleon and Michelangelo so far.
Yeah, that could be Michelangelo.
Oh.
Because I believe Slow Beef has that as well, the white border.
What will these seeds grow?
I'm sorry, I didn't know it was Michelangelo. It's hard. Hell. I have a hard time.
Oh, when you said a note, I thought it was like a paper note. He actually just got...
like an actual note.
A music note? Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's dumb.
But Church still needs to deposit his dudes, right?
Yes.
Church has 1. Depositing 1 would be...
Oh, so he already deposited Napoleon? Okay.
Yeah, he deposited Napoleon and... another one. Billy the Kid.
Billy the Kid.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah. Okay, it looks like we have Elvis now. Luckily, Church and Sarge was able to help Elvis out with music.
Is that Elvis or is that Beethoven?
That's Beethoven. Beethoven just has like a velvet painting of Elvis.
Oh my gosh, you're right, it is Beethoven.
Is that blue item in the background of Beethoven's place a pickup an item? It looked like a sprite.
No, it's not.
Okay.
I feel so dumb now. Like, why would Beethoven have a picture of Elvis?
Because somebody left it for him?
Okay.
That's 4 for Church.
That is 4 for Church, and 2 for Slow Beef.
He just went to the mall, and you said that's where you have to use the seeds, right?
It is. So as far as what the items that Church has, right? The dollar you used with Billy the Kid, right?
Yeah.
Instead of where Billy the Kid was, there's a bar over to the left. The key you used in Michelangelo's time to open up the violin case, and the seeds you use at the San Dimas Mall.
Now, Slow Beef is into the maze. If he can manage to get through this, it'll be a huge jump, even though, it's technically just rescuing one person. At the same time, Church and Sarge lost a lot of time on this level.
So did Slow Beef glitch Beethoven? He gave him the note and doesn't have him. At the time, Slow Beef had 2 people already, so Beethoven's just sitting back in his time.
Yeah, he can go get Beethoven. Why did the guards see Slow Beef?
I think it's just if you're anywhere on the same horizontal or vertical plane with them, and there's not a wall in between. They just see you and start charging at you.
It's something like that. It's there are walls, and the walls are like a thing, but the problem is the walls are also glitchy as heck.
Yeah. This is a very magical video game.
It's amazing.
Is that Rome burning down? Is that what's going on?
Yes. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
you have to give him the violin so he can play the violin while Rome burns?
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
No! Corday! That's so sad!
So, yeah, now Church is having trouble getting to Delphi because he's been there before. You have to go talk to Socrates first.
Ah,
Then you can go
okay.
see the Oracle.
Yeah, here I think he tried to give him the money. Yeah, and it all just reset somehow.
Yeah, so every time you talk to Socrates, the gold coins reset.
Oh no.
He takes all your money. Yeah, he's like, well,
Yeah.
that's not the right answer. Better pay up!
So do you have to get exactly 30? Because he wound up
There's-
with over 30.
So there are only 30. You have to collect them all.
Hey, Slow Beef is almost through the maze, by the way.
Yeah. And now, Slow Beef just has to open the right door.
Yes! There we go, she's saved! Who is it, Marie Antoinette?
That's Marie Antoinette.
Marie Antoinette time!
Now all Slow Beef has to do here is just walk off the screen, yeah.
It's a little bit hard, though.
So, Chad is asking, isn't this the game that AVGN played? And the answer is no.
No.
AVGN played the NES game. This is for DOS, and this is totally different.
It's extremely different, but honestly, I would love to see him give this a shot, you know. I think that would be a blast. Especially with the new movie coming out in a little bit.
Right, it's only appropriate. And given that I've been apparently handing out movie games on the Invitational, that I figured this was appropriate.
Oh, he
Yeah.
missed that one.
Slow Beef did have a question in Discord if you wanted to take a look at that, Corn Dan. You could go ahead and...
Yes, I can.
Sweet. Just to remind everybody, this is Cuso Grande, the Bad Video Game Tournament. We are half an hour in. We're seeing who can make the most progress in the hour. So at this point, Slow Beef is going up against Billy the Kid and got another soft lock, I believe.
That is another soft lock.
Oh, has he saved recently? I didn't
I
see him
believe so.
save.
I think he saved fairly recently, but yeah, he's going to have to start this back up. Wow, he's having some really bad Billy the Kid luck.
Church is running into problems where he's trying to collect that last coin on this screen from the side. But if he's
Yeah.
on level with it and he jumps, it takes him to the next screen.
Right, you have to jump on it from below.
Ah, well, okay, he's jumping back into this. This looks so much fun. Well, Cuso Grande isn't about having fun. It's about making people suffer. And trust me, we've got that going on right now. We've got some people who have tears running down their face. Slow Beef hopping back into the game. I believe once you get through the intro cutscene, you can load.
Yes.
Is he gonna load?
I believe so. I
Oh,
would,
okay.
if I were...
Please load.
So, I'm curious what Church did before, because he came here before and he was picking up the coins, and his thing on the left for the number of coins showed 64. Oh no, he went into the phone booth and reset them.
Ah, okay. Okay, there's Beethoven. I'm not sure Beethoven is getting up, though.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's,
no. Didn't he already give Beethoven the note, though?
Yes.
Okay, maybe let's go collect another note from the caveman, you know?
And if not, we'll count it. Because the Slow Beef did.
You know, we're finding new ways to break this game that we never knew about before. Oh, it looks like... There we go, Marie Antoinette has been deposited.
Yeah, at least this way, we know that Slow Beef went through everything she collected.
Okay, yeah, we let Slow Beef know. We're going to count that. You did everything that's needed.
Yes. Because this game is a game,
Oh my God.
and there's not much else we can do.
So technically, I would say that Slow Beef is currently playing in what would be a soft lock state. Essentially, you can't beat the game at this point, but you can still get the other people here. It looks like Slow Beef's going to be fighting. Punch, punch.
If Slow Beef gets all other 11 in time, which doesn't seem like it will happen, but let's just assume it does, we'll count it as 11.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
picked up Billy the Kid now.
Okay,
Question is, will he go the other way for his dollar? No, it doesn't look like it. Because he has to go off the left side of the screen, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Church and Sarge has to boogie. Don't get caught. Oh my gosh. I'm so stressed.
Right, he should be good now.
Yeah,
I
this
think
game...
it's a straight shot from here.
This game definitely fits the definition of a video game. Church and Sarge, go down, go down.
And go out the door.
He was
go out
dodging
the door.
he was dodging the guard, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It can be hard to line up the door, so it looks like he's just being really safe.
Good.
Like if he misses, he's just going back to not get caught.
Yeah, you do not want... Oh no,
Oh,
he's
he's
trying to go
not going
past the
that way.
guard. It's to the right.
Oh.
There we go. Okay. Open the right
He did it
door.
by accident, but hey, he still got it.
Okay. It's the right door. Yeah!
There we go, yeah!
Marie Antoinette's been saved.
I like that he takes time on the Bastille.
Oh boy. Well, this is going pretty well. So just looking at how Slow Beef is doing. He's got a key, a dollar, and what's the third item in his list?
The flowers.
Yeah, that's the seeds, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Slow Beef's doing pretty well. We're now up to 5 plus Beethoven.
5 plus Beethoven, yeah. Okay. Church and Sarge has 5 as well,
Right.
but not plus. Well, he did get Beethoven.
You did get Beethoven.
So technically, I'd say, you know, Slow Beef has. Well, Church is at 4 plus 1 that hasn't been deposited. We're not
Right.
counting. We're not requiring people to deposit. Technically, I would say because of Beethoven, Slow Beef would be in the lead in this case.
Yes.
What will these seeds grow? Wow.
I do like the Church is just, when he's stuck, he's just rotating between locations. He's not trying to fixate too much on one screen, which can be a really big downfall on these adventure games.
I think
You're
that's
trying
a good
really
choice,
hard
yeah.
to like fix this one puzzle, and you might not have what you need yet.
Right. And I mean, so there's a couple things left, right? Socrates could be completely gotten right now.
Yeah, what do you have to do in order to get Socrates though?
All right, so all you have to do is get the 30 coins and get to the top of Delphi, and it gives you the answer to the question, and then that's fine. right? So you can get Socrates without having to go anywhere else.
What
Albert
was the
Einstein
answer, by the way?
that nobody's smarter than Socrates. I
Oh,
believe.
wow, that's really conceited.
I know, right?
Socrates. You're
So,
just
let's
waiting
see-
for people to tell you that you are the smartest person ever.
So the other ones left, Sigmund Freud. You have to grow the flowers and give them to Sigmund Freud's mom, and then Freud gets off the couch.
Okay.
They keep going to the mall, but they never try the seeds there.
Right. So, and then in Sigmund Freud's area, there's that bread box. If you pick up the bread box and then drop it, you find that there are Twinkies inside, which you can give to Genghis Khan.
Well, yeah, that's what you do in the movie, right? Or what they do.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're not in the movie, Corn Dan.
So, Church has just gotten the ice pick, and now the calculator, right, which you can give to Albert Einstein.
I don't know why there was a calculator there, but there certainly was.
Well, the game provides a good question. How did this calculator get here?
I don't know.
I'm still curious how Church wound up with 64 coins.
Yeah, me too.
He did something strange.
Slow Beef is getting a bunch of questions.
So those are, you have the question. That's the question from Socrates.
Oh, okay.
And then the coins.
Yeah, the question mark is just the counter for the coins.
Yep. So you need all of the coins.
Oh, he found the third screen. I don't think Church has found this screen yet.
No, Church is not.
That could be a huge advantage here. But there are 30 coins?
There are 30 coins exactly.
Okay. Yeah, Slow Beef is going to be able to get all of them pretty quickly, luckily.
So Church has just picked up Einstein and given him the calculator,
Nice.
so now Einstein can balance his checkbook.
And I think that puts Church in the lead.
Just a little bit in the lead, yes. So Church has 7 people rescued. Slow Beef has 5 plus Beethoven, because that Beethoven kind of is in a soft lock state.
So, Slow Beef's gonna get really confused here. Right? Because this is another one of those places where the game is dumb. Slow Beef needs to go up to Delphi. Right, and you need to do it on that third screen. You climb up the left side of the mountain, but you can't just be like right up top. If you get there, you basically have to come down and then back up again. Otherwise, it won't register. And it took me so long the first time to do it. When we gave this out in Cuso Grande 3, that all of the contestants accused me of giving them a broken game.
Well, it is a broken game, but that's the state that it was shipped in.
Yes, the game is completable as it is, but that doesn't make it a not broken game.
Oh, there goes Slow Beef. Yeah, it's definitely a broken game. It looks like Slow Beef is leaving for a sec. No? Did he lose all his money because he went into the phone booth?
Yes.
Yes. That happened to Church earlier too.
Why?
'Cause these items are coded to be specific to the area, so when you leave the area, they're gone.
Well, he didn't leave the area, he just went into the phone booth. Maybe they're like, well, we're gonna go ahead and put all of the coins in the little slot here.
Alright. Church is trying the coins again. If he finds the third screen, he
He
was
did
close
find-
before, he just didn't have all the coins.
He did find the third screen by jumping off the second screen and then immediately died.
A nice pick.
Oh, I didn't see that, okay.
Guys. Good. It looks like Slow Beef has the ice pick.
Yes.
Neither of them have also found out how to spend their dollars, so they're both choked on Abraham Lincoln as well.
Yep. Wow, Delphi is so cruel.
it's pretty much the worst part of the game, in all honesty.
You didn't know this was a game, said somebody in chat. Yeah, I don't think most people played this. And I think there's a pretty solid reason why.
It's
Church is having major difficulties with this coin, even though he got it earlier.
Yeah. Okay, calculator has been given to Einstein on Slowbeef's side, and time to bring Einstein home.
So I like what Slowbeef has been doing in every time he gets a person, he takes him back to the mall.
For those who are wondering, by the way, this is Kuso Grande, a bad video game tournament. They are playing these games, never having seen them before, and trying to make as much progress as they can in an hour. Luckily, this format means literally anybody can play. Doesn't mean you'll do well, but hey, you know, primarily this is so that we can all have a good laugh at some of these interesting games. And this game is, I'd say interesting, but it's pretty bad.
They're both at 7 now.
Oh, nice.
We got 15 minutes left. We'll see them get at least one more.
Hey, Church and Sarge did find the last screen here in Delphi.
So
I think the reason... Sorry, go ahead.
I'm not sure... There we go. I was gonna say, I'm not sure Church has realized that you can jump straight up.
So I think the reason for that was earlier, when he picked up that coin, he jumped up, landed on the platform just barely close enough to pick up the coin, and then fell off immediately.
Aha.
So his first trip of picking up the coin, like, I think he was kind of a fluke and he didn't know how to reproduce it.
Yeah, I could see that.
But he figured it out. It looks like a hard jump the way he did it.
Hey, he's got all 30. Now it's figuring out what to do with all 30.
So all 30 gold coins, now you have to go up and all the way to the top. Really hard to tell. There is an arrow on the third screen there that points you in the right direction.
It's so bad. What does the bread box hold?
What does the bread box hold? That's a good clue.
Doesn't it hold bread?
It holds Twinkies.
Oh.
Is that the answer?
That is the answer. What does the bread box hold? And it's Twinkies.
Oh my
Which
goodness.
you need to give to Genghis Khan. But to get to the bread box, you need to keep
Oh, I see the arrow. It's so small.
Yeah.
Oh. Let me see. Yeah, there is an arrow. Let's go left.
Yeah, they're both at the point where they're close to figuring some stuff out, but they need some realizations to progress further. They've gotten, I think, all of the easy ones at this point, and they need to figure out how the rest of their items work to move beyond.
So the goal in this game is to collect as many dudes as possible, and both of them have collected 7. Technically, Slowbeef has only collected 6, but we think that Beethoven has soft locked on his side.
Beethoven is definitely soft locked on his side.
I love it. Oh, it looks like Slowbeef is trying the seeds here. It's a good thought. It's not going to work.
It's definitely a good thought.
Oh, Church was on the other screen, but I don't think he saw the arrow.
Oh no.
He has the right idea. He's trying to climb the mountain. He's just not on the right screen.
This is not a good game.
It's a
what did
wonderful
Slowbeef
game.
do?
I'm not sure. Slowbeef did something a little bit weird. But hey, he made it back to the telephone box. I'm fine with that. Oh my god. Thank you, MG Weirdo in chat as well for the clarification. The white border around the dudes that they have been dude posited. The gold border means that they're in your phone booth, and the brown border means that they are still missing out in the wild world.
Church has the right idea, and he's also, I think he's noticed that going to the phone booth clears the coins, because he just did that. So he's trying to figure this out. He doesn't want to go in the phone booth because he's noticed that he loses the coins if he does.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at the very least, he's figured out he has to stay in this area. We'll see how long it
That's
takes
good.
him to figure this out.
He's trying to use the coin somewhere. Oh, I'm so sad.
Well, they'll figure it out.
Well, Slowbeef gonna try the coin? The key?
Is
It's right there. It's right there, Slowbeef. Go get it.
Wait,
Oh,
you
he's
use the
gonna climb all the way
key.
to the top again.
Oh no, you use the key on the violin box?
Yeah.
Well, that's not straightforward at all. Who locks their violin case?
People
Someone
like
who
their
doesn't
violin.
want their violin to get stolen.
Well, I don't know. I've never owned a violin, so I don't really. I guess I'm not the best use case for the. No. Oh my gosh. It looks like Slowbeef has quit the game and is getting back into it. Honestly, I can't blame either of those.
I guess he's seeing if loading will fix Beethoven.
I don't know. We told him that in chat that we would cover Beethoven. So
Oh yeah. I don't think Church and Sarge is going to figure this specific part out at the moment. This might be the area that just unfortunately kills his run specifically.
Well, there's 10 minutes left, and Church is still technically in the lead because he got 7 before Slowbeef.
He did. He did, yes.
Oh, he keeps going to the left screen for just the smallest moment, then going back. He's not taking the time to look and see the path. Oh, he went in the phone booth. He's giving up. Okay.
Oh, well, honestly, I think that's good. 10 minutes left. Go somewhere else. Do something that you think might help, you know? Just don't do the same thing over and over again. That is an easy way to lose matches.
This is a good idea. He's trying to spend the $1 at the Circle K.
it is a good idea.
The problem is I don't think either of them have seen the other place in Billy the Kid's where you spend the $1.
So they are going to different locations. You know, that if they go back to Billy the Kid, they would find it. You can see the edge of the bar.
Okay.
Oh, this is so close, because if either of them figure out how this
One.
works, the violin or the $1 or the seeds, they'll take the lead. And we've got 8 minutes left, so it's plenty of time for one of them to figure it out.
Yeah, and they've essentially gotten the same people. Now, does Rufus count as somebody to say, or to one of the dudes to collect Corn Dad?
No, Rufus, because nobody knows who Rufus is.
Well,
I mean, Rufus is super important, don't get me wrong.
he's very important.
So is that $1? Yes, it's $1. And Smuckers, how do I know it's not a viola case? Because Nero played the violin while Rome burned.
That's kind of fun. It's like, oh, you have to get this person who played the violin while a city was burning. You know, fun times. Okay. Slowbeef just trying to do some of this platforming. It's not necessarily the best platforming in the world. Okay.
And you can see that Nero he's got the bow, and like he should be playing an instrument, and that's really the big hint here.
Yeah.
Right.
He just doesn't have anything in his hand.
Okay, Slow Beef, what are you gonna do now? You've got all 30 coins.
I mean, I can see the arrow telling
Oh.
him to go up.
Oh, he was right
Slow
there!
Slow
No,
Beef
he was
almost,
right there!
almost has it. Where Slow Beef, that was exactly the right place to go, but literally where he's at, you have to go down and then up. Because if you're all the way up against the wall, it doesn't register.
Oh my
This is
goodness,
so
really?
dumb.
That is
Really?
so dumb.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
This game is just bad.
Yeah,
Almost
so
at 6 minutes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, 6 minutes left. They both have saved 7 dudes.
well,
Can I-
Steps, Slow Beef has returned 7 dudes, and Church has only returned 6.
But we're not counting how many they returned, right?
I believe Slow Beef got to 7 first.
So if we're counting collected, Church got to 7 first.
Church
Yes.
got to 7 first.
Yeah, because he got to 7 while Slow Beef was still on 5 plus Beethoven. We can always ask Kate to confirm that, since Kate is our lovely referee, but...
Oh boy.
Like Slow Beef is so close to getting this too.
Yeah, Slow Beef is just trying to use the money. The thing is, it's not obvious that there's a path on the left after you collect the coins.
No, there's not.
It's
Not.
so dumb.
I actually like this from Slow Beef. He says he's gonna get up real quick and just come back. Like, taking a minute when you're frustrated just to walk away, even when it's the end of the game, sometimes that helps, you know?
Yeah, have a small breather, and hopefully you can figure something out. This game is not good.
Not at all.
Oh, Church is... Can Church figure it out?
Church
He's got
falling
4.5 minutes.
4.5 minutes. Yeah,
It's enough
taking
time to do this.
So, to put this in perspective, when we played through this in Crusoe Grande 3, I think only one person got to 7. So, I mean, both of these competitors who are playing this blind have done an excellent job.
Oh yeah.
No, he went in the phone booth!
No, he lost his money.
He has 4 minutes left.
Slow Beef just wants to play the Switch.
I think Slow Beef is just throwing in the towel with his current progress. But I don't think he realizes that he's
So close!
behind. Yeah. He's so close. And I think he's technically behind. We're gonna have to get a
He is.
confirmation from Kate, because...
Oh. Okay. Slow Beef is moving ahead. This is our last race of the night.
Oh man, we're so
come on,
close.
Come on, Slow Beef, you can do this.
Oh,
Either of you guys, I don't care which, just somebody do.
yeah, I just want somebody to get this. You can do it. Slow Beef is trying things. That's good. Just try.
3 minutes. 3 minutes.
Gosh, 3 minutes.
God, this is so tense.
Slow Beef is up at the
You're-
top.
You're like right there, Slow Beef. Just
Gotta
go
go
down, a little
down
bit,
and
go
up.
back up.
Go
Down and up, down and up.
No!
Uh.
My heart.
This is so not obvious that you have to go down. I think
It-
that's going to be the downfall.
It is completely not obvious, and that's the problem.
Ah, what a game.
You have to be in that kind of this game is terrible mindset to figure that out. Like, you have to be thinking, okay, maybe the detection of the edge of the screen is bad.
That's so for me. That's literally how I found it. Was I got up there. I'm like, I see the arrow. Like I can see what I'm supposed to do, and I got frustrated, and I just started like shaking the stick in frustration, and I went up the wall.
Yeah, that's the other one. Just start mashing controls. And like, oh my god, something will work.
Like, so I totally get their frustration because I'm like, so how are you supposed to do this? So we can either figure out like things are broken, right? Or like there's got to be a way of doing this. And I literally just out of sheer frustration, I accidentally.
Oh, Church might get it if you walk straight up. Oh!
Nope. 30 coins
He
again.
still thinks he needs to give them to Socrates. I almost said his name right.
Oh my gosh.
A minute and a half.
A minute and a half. Oh, a minute 15. Like, somebody could still get it right at the end. Slow Beef is typing in chat. Needed for what? 30 gold coins needed. He's got 30 gold coins, but for what?
You know what? With a minute and a half, or with a minute left, I'll let him know, right, to get to the Oracle.
45 seconds.
Oh boy.
It's so close. We're getting to the point where they might not have enough time.
I have
to
no
just
idea.
traverse.
Oh, you
They have
absolutely
to get to him, get the answer, and then get back to Socrates.
The
20 seconds.
once you get up there, they teleport you right back to Socrates.
Oh, they do. Okay.
Yes.
10 seconds.
I don't think it's gonna.
No, it's not gonna happen.
No, that's not gonna happen. That's the time, right?
That is time.
And both of them were so close. They both almost had it.
If Church had just walked up instead of using the Death Warp, he would have gotten it on accident.
Slow Beef is pretty happy that the match is done. And let me just say, I can't really blame him. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and let them know they can... They can come join chat if they would like. What an amazing watch. Oh my gosh. Corndam, this game is so bad.
It is amazingly bad. And once you know what the game is trying to do, it makes sense, but the implementation is just not good.
Yeah, I'm inviting them into the green room if they would like to come and converse with us. It looks like Church and Sarge is making his way. Hello, Church and Sarge.
So, I'll tell you the answer. It's not me. I'm not smarter than Socrates or wiser than Socrates.
It's true.
You are correct.
You have no idea, though, how close you were right at the end.
Was I supposed to drop all three?
No. All you needed to do, so the last time when you walked down, you collected the last 4 coins.
Slow Beef is here. Let's actually drag him in before we reveal.
Yeah, so we'll tell.
Hello.
Because both of you almost had this right at the end. So when you were on that third screen, all the way over to the left after you collected all 30, and I saw both of you, especially Slow Beef, trying to climb up. The game detection's not good. You actually have to come down a little bit and then go up, climb up the wall. So, Church, after you gotten those last 4 coins, instead of jumping off and falling, if you had just walked up, you probably would have gotten it.
Like, this game is not good.
Wait. I don't understand. What do? So how do you get to the Oracle? I need to know.
You can't be flat against the top of the wall. You have to be away from the wall a little bit and then walk up.
Yeah, you know the third screen on the mountain?
Yeah.
The map on the very far left, you were all the way at the top. But that doesn't work. What you had to do was go a little bit down and then back up.
Like straight up, you were doing the right thing, and the game is just awful.
It's a bad game.
I'm trying it now, and I can't make it work, and I don't know how much I care, but I kind of also need to know. It's just weird. I hate this so much.
Oh my gosh! But yeah, you were in the right place.
On the top left screen.
the
not
very
the
far
top
left.
right one.
Yeah. And then just walk down the path a little bit and then walk back up and see if that gets it.
I don't even want to. I'm like afraid to. I'm so annoyed.
It's
Like,
not.
like church from where you're at. If you jump over to the one on the left,
I so
Yeah, it
bad.
looks like church is
Basically-
trying this.
yeah, basically
You might be
a
too
little
far
bit-
to the left.
Yeah, a little bit more right from where you're at. Like you don't have very much room to play in there.
Mhm.
Where before you fall off.
I'm streaming again. Sorry. I
Um,
just that's on the path all the way to the left.
Yeah, you're on the right path. Yeah.
So Slowbee from right where you're at, like if you go all the way up against the top wall, right,
I say, and then down, then up.
and then down and then up, and then you'll have like a climbing mode, and then.
Why
you'll
do they
move
like
down.
take away the gold coins when you leave Greece and come back?
You know, they
Because-
also go away if you use the phone booth, so you can't
Yeah.
even save.
That happened to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I recollected these mothers. Yeah. It was ridiculous.
All right. Is this needed to get the other 4? Because I feel like it is, but I'm not 100%
It
sure.
must be,
So-
right?
No, you need the dollar though, right? So how do we get the other 4? So Socrates,
Oh.
once you climb up the here, you give the 30 coins and you get Socrates. That's an easy one.
Okay,
There you
it
go,
looks like
Slowbee.
Slowbee finally managed to get up there.
Now
but
You need to be
30
further
coins.
right, Church, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Now I got Socrates. That's...
This is so bad.
All right. So the other ones left. Nero, you need the fiddle that's in Michelangelo's office.
Yeah.
Down on the first floor, and use the key.
What?
Wait, I thought I used the key to open the door for the girl.
No,
Nope.
No.
Oh!
The key is for the violin.
It's locked.
I know.
You also need to take the key away when it uses the items. and the
all
elevator
right,
stuff that goes
so-
away.
Also, I can't get Beethoven because
Yeah,
the
that
game...
one I can't help you on, right?
I think he's soft
so-
locked. Just leave him. He can die.
So the dollar, right? To get Abraham Lincoln, you have to take the dollar to the bar in Billy the Kid. There's another screen over to the left from where you fought Billy the Kid, and you use the dollar there, and they give you a drink, and you get a penny as change that you give to Abraham Lincoln
Because his face is on the nickel.
because
Right.
his face, right? Because his face is on the penny.
So I thought they screwed up and it was the dollar, and I'm like, maybe they meant a 5, you know?
No, they didn't screw up, but it's a little obtuse.
Well, I mean, they screwed up. Let's be honest here.
I
Yeah, that-
swear
fair
I
enough.
tried left on that screen and just didn't get anything.
No, you definitely can.
By the way,
Sigmund Freud, you have to take the flowers to the mall because there's that flower pot that
Oh my
has the
God.
tree in it, and grow the flowers in there, and then give the flowers to Sigmund Freud's mom, who's like throwing stuff at you,
Yeah.
and you
Ah,
get Sigmund Freud. Now,
By the way, oh, sorry, good.
they give you the tip about the bread box. Is there's something special about the bread box? You pick up the bread box and then drop it again, and it has Twinkies, which you can give to Genghis Khan.
I'm going to give you a short history lesson as well, Corn Dad. Billy the Kid died in 1881. The penny first had Lincoln's face in 1909.
Look, the
So-
calculator was buried in ice in the Ice Age. Why are we?
It's,
God,
yeah. This
This
was
is-
sold to
this
people.
is terrible.
Yeah.
Alright.
I mean, like, usually they are, but this is, like, especially heinous.
It's
Heinous
super
is a
bad,
big
yeah.
word. Well, you know what's not heinous? The fact that the game list for GDQ is going to be up tonight for SGDQ. So
Oh, wow.
I know everybody is refreshing right there. So far, they've had 103,000 refreshes on the page to try to see the list.
Wow.
and none of them
Soon.
were me this time.
None of them were you.
I'm so
Some of
sad.
them
Do
were
you guys
me.
have any final thoughts about Bill
Wait,
and
what-
Ted's Excellent Adventure?
What do you do with the seeds?
So you go to the mall, right?
Yeah.
And you use the seeds at the mall, and they grow in the flower pot that the tree's in over on the left-hand side.
Get that.
Are you gonna be honest with you? Didn't even treat them all as a level.
Well,
Never would have
yeah.
gotten that.
Yeah, I noticed that. You both were not even trying any items there.
True. Well,
I'm
know-
convinced this isn't. I'm convinced
There's-
you're lying to me.
You have to. So, like, my understanding is you have to be up on top and move down a few pixels without falling off.
Yep.
Not on the ramp, further to the right. It's stupid pixel precise adventure game stuff.
Okay.
you'll get it one of these days, Church.
It's
I've got
weird.
faith.
Are you talking about the Oracle thing still?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got it and I don't know how. Like, I tried the same thing a couple of times. Oh my god, this flower pot. Look at it. Did you like too, and on Napoleon's level you can just jump like in the background and nothing happens?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm stuck!
I'm pretty sure you could have crashed the game at some point doing that, Slow Beef.
Yeah, I'm hung again. I'm stuck on the plant forever. Jeez. God, I hate this so much.
So the funny
Oh.
thing is, right? We've determined that
got
Billy the Kid softlocks the game, but we can't figure out why.
Mm-hmm.
And it only matters sometimes and not others.
Yeah, I don't
It's
I don't
probably
know
some
what that
flag that
said.
gets set because if you go in the speedrun route, you were saying it doesn't soft lock, so it's probably about the order that you set the flags.
Yeah, that's as best as we can determine.
I'd say that both of you did a really good job, though. The previous time that we had this on Kusa Grande, only one person got 7 people. You both got 7 people, and everything else is just super dumb.
And you guys
So-
did it faster too.
Yeah.
Right. So you did very well blind.
Mm-hmm.
Just never
Right.
play this game, everybody watching. That's my one suggestion.
Agreed.
So do we have any final thoughts, Church, Slow Beef?
I'm so sorry this happened to me.
What about you, Church?
I was this close to getting a redraw. Only it was the other game.
Oh, dang it.
Alright.
I'm so sorry this happened.
I'm not.
Oh,
With
I'm
that-
a little bit sorry.
With that, we are going to sign out. I want to say thanks to everybody who appeared on this episode. Kate, Dana, Andy, Meekin, Slow Beef, Church, our GMs, Brosentia, Tina Hacks, Corndan, and Faizu for coming on and helping us talk during Titus the Fox. We're going to send you guys off to a raid. If you want to keep your eyes open for games list, just, keep an eye on the website. But that's it for tonight, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We're gonna send you off to another fine speedrunning channel for you to enjoy the night.
Woo!
Thank you.
Good night.